Good morning, students, dear friends. Uh, am I audible? Before starting the class, I request if some of you could enable your video. Those who are comfortable with, no, please enable your video. So it will be an interactive session. Those who are comfortable with, yes, okay. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So please ensure the dress code. Okay. So those who are with appropriate dress code, they can enable your video. Thank you. That's fine. Am I audible? Please raise your hand. Am I audible? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Fine. So there is a instruction from the technical side. Some of you are logging in with your name. You are requested to log in with your unique ID only. Okay. In case if you are not allocated unique ID, you are requested to log in as unknown. Is it? Not allocated. Okay. So you can access. Just put your instead of unique ID, you can just in user ID give not allocated and enter. Okay, so we have to avoid some duplications. Okay, so that is why we are asking you. So please cooperate. Okay, so whenever you are interacting with me, you can start by telling your name so that it's easy for knowing your name. Okay, so at the time of interaction, when you are enabling your audio, you can just share your name and then ask question or give the answer or interact with me. Okay, fine. Okay, so the last class when we ended up, we were talking about the books, okay, and the approach to prepare for Indian polity, right? Okay, so the books, as I told you, Indian Constitution at Work and the Lakshmikant book, or we have to go for institute book, either one. Okay, I asked you to keep the minimal material. Material should be very minimal. Okay, so don't accumulate yourself with more number of books. That is harmful. Okay. I hope all of you know the results of our academy. Yes, yesterday is when the result was issued by the UPSC. We have already the last time when we made the count. Okay, officially it is 198. Okay, but there will be more candidates, at least 10 plus. Okay, is possibilities there across the branches. Tamil Nadu alone, out of 60, 52 are from our academy. Okay, from Annanagar. Okay, from Tamil Nadu. Okay, so with this happy news, I would like to start the class. And I just also want to once again remind you of the approach. Okay, I told you how to approach the entire study of polity. You have to first complete from preamble to president, first time casual reading. After casually reading it, then come back, okay, and then read for the second time. And when you read the polity book, you have to read it like a novel. Okay, that is the point I insisted. You need not bother to memorize. Don't bother to understand also. When I say use the word bother, it means don't make it so difficult. Okay, try maximum you're possible. If you're understanding, fine, just move on. Okay, fine. Okay, so we have discussed regarding what is polity. So I just want one volunteer, okay, to talk about what is polity. And we also saw the definition of the constitution. Yes, and the functioning of the constitution and definition for law. Okay, so I just want any one of you to give the definitions alone. Please enable and give the definitions. Anyone? Yes. Please click on the hand raise button and interact with me, no? Any one of you. At least you can tell two definitions. We can give opportunities for multiple students.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
The definition of polity is a public decision making process in order to resolve public conflicts for unity and welfare of the people.
Okay. In examination, you can put it much shorter also. Polity is a public decision making process in order to resolve
Okay.
conflicts. That's it. Good. Good. So
Okay, sir.
what is law?
Law is a common rule made in a country to manage the country.
Very good. Very good. There is a common rule made to manage the country. Very good. Any other students now? Okay. Give me the definition of constitution and the functions of constitution.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Your name and then you interact.
Yes, my name is Supriyo, sir. I am from West Bengal.
Supito.
Hello.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Me too. Me too. Good. I'm doing good. Yes. You can proceed. What is the definition of?
You asked about polity, right, sir?
No, no. Constitution. Polity. The other student have told. Constitution. What is the constitution?
Actually, okay. Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Constitution is the basic framework with which a country is established and governed. So it has various components. Means it strives to achieve or strives to resolve the basic conflicts. It allocates power, limits the power of the state. Welfare measures are achieved through it or ensured through it, and it also acts as a political identity for the Indian citizens.
Very good. Very good. So that is the functions of the constitution. Okay. Fine. So today, okay, we have to. Yeah, there is one more question. Another student should. What are the components of polity? What are we going to study under the subject of polity? I was drawing some circles and I was telling you what are the components we are going to study under polity.
Sir, it is the legislature. I'm Priyanka, sir. It is the legislature, executive, judiciary body,
Okay, all these three are
and
called
the
as.
constitutional bodies.
No. Yes, it is a constitution, but there is another name specifically for executive, legislature, and judiciary. What is that?
Principal bodies of the
Principal organs of the state. Okay.
organs of the state.
Yeah,
Yes,
you have
sir.
to use the exact phrase. Okay, because these are well settled, and we have to differentiate exactly between principal organs of the state. Good. Then constitutional bodies and statutory
And
bodies. Yeah.
statutory bodies, non-statutory bodies, informal institutions,
So finally, we saw under polity we are going to read
and
formal institutions, informal institutions. The
and
other name of
informal
the other name of informal institutions is the other name for the
civil society
very good civil
activities.
society. So we are going to learn under polity the formal institutions, the civil society, and the interaction between them. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
if somebody asks you what are you studying in Indian polity, what is this subject called as polity, you tell them you are studying about the institutions, political institutions, formal political institutions, informal political institutions, that is civil society, and the interaction between them. Okay, so that is the subject matter, okay, of polity. If you take the prelims syllabus of polity, GS mains, the second paper, okay, so all that has been listed there is nothing but formal institutions, informal institutions, and the interaction between them. Okay, so under the formal institution, constitution will also become a part. One of you have mailed me to ask a question, sir, whether law is part of formal institution, constitution is a part of formal institution. Yes, since they are product of formal institutions, we can say they are part of formal institutions. We study them under there. Okay, fine. So now today, the difference between constitution and law. Okay, constitution and law. So already we have seen the definitions of both. One is law is okay, the common rules that is made to manage the country. Okay, constitution, what is its role? It's a framework with which we establish a country and govern the country. Okay, so it's a basic framework. When we see the functions of the constitution, as Suprato has said, the first function of the constitution is to resolve the basic conflicts that we know already. Then what is the function of law? We saw law is a common rule made to manage the society. Manage the society means what? To avoid problems and to ensure peaceful coexistence. Once again, here also resolving conflicts only. So resolve conflicts. But you may ask, sir, for both you are saying the same definition almost. See, the constitution is also managing the society. Law is also managing the society. Constitution is also resolving the problems in the society. Law is also resolving the problems in the society. So you may ask, what exactly is the difference? Law resolves conflicts which arises time to time. Okay. Give me an example of any recent law which is passed by the parliament, or any law which is close to your heart. Okay, from that I will explain. Any one of you, click on the hand raise button, okay, and tell me about a law. From there we will try to understand what is constitution and the law.
Sir, that Disaster Management Act 2005.
Okay. National Disaster
Recent
Management.
one I don't. Yeah, recent one I don't. It's
Very good.
environment impact assessment I can tell, but I don't know whether it is amendment or act. So
Okay, environmental impact assessment bill. Okay, ordinance we can say. Okay, the cabinet has given approval. They have to pass it. Okay, in the parliament. Okay, so let's take both. Not a problem. Okay, fine. Okay. Now, any problem related to whether it is environment or disaster, okay, in the society, it should be resolved by a law. Okay, but this is given. This is given where, or okay, the mechanism. Okay, how to take decision and to implement that decision is given in the constitution. So the constitution says, let there be union government, let there be parliament, okay, let there be all India service officers like IAS, IPS. So whenever an issue is coming in the society, they are responsible for these things. One is parliament is responsible for making law. Okay, the union government is to implement law. The union government will take the assistance of expertise from the IAS and IPS. So this infrastructure, okay, or the framework is created in the constitution. It does not give exact solution for the problems. Okay, it says when problem arises, these people are responsible. These people are responsible. So it creates the institution of executive, it creates legislature, it creates the judiciary. The constitution does not give judgments. The constitution does not create the final decision for any problem that is occurring in the society. It just creates the framework. It just tells who is who will do what. Very simple. Constitution resolves the basic conflict, who will do it. Because in society, okay, the role of being an IAS, being IPS, being administrator, being a chief minister, prime minister, president, judge, okay, everybody will conflict. Everybody will want to become to that position, right? So you and I want to become civil servant because we want to part of the government. And go and ask your friends. Every friend will have this desire. You have taken an attempt. You have taken a sincere effort to become part of the government. If you go and ask even a common man who's walking on the road, he will also say that he wants to be part of the government. So the basic conflict in the society is who will do what, who will get to rule the country, who will make law, who will implement law. So that is being done by the constitution. Okay, so in short, who will do what, okay, that conflict between the citizens of this country will be resolved by the constitution. They'll say how IAS, IPS should be elected, how MP should be elected, how judges should be selected, what is their qualification, everything. That's all. But when a crisis, real crisis is taking place, okay, time to time, whenever a crisis is taking place, the actual solution for the crisis, actual solution for the conflict, day-to-day conflict is given by law. So disaster, when an epidemic is happening, what should be done? Okay, environment, okay, versus development. When there is a conflict between environment and development, there is a law called as environmental impact assessment. What should be its rules and regulations? Because the recent conflict that is taking place is because of EIA, environmental impact assessment. Lot of projects is uncleared in India. Okay, so it is estimated, to push the India's economic growth, we have to invest $1 trillion, okay, of money in infrastructure alone, road, railway, transport, etc. $1 trillion. So the investment one side problem. The another side problem is, even if you get investment, you are not getting land where infrastructure projects can be expedited. So many infrastructure projects are stopped because of this concept called as environmental impact assessment. So they wanted to relax the regulations in EIA so that development can be fast tracked. Okay, so this is a conflict, issue arising, a new issue that has taken place recently. In the past few years, it is a big problem for India. Okay, so the government is planning for a environmental impact assessment act. Okay, so they resolve the conflict which arises time to time. Now just imagine this. Tomorrow they are relaxing the environmental impact assessment. Okay, so which means that minimal damage to environment is accepted. For the development sake, you just assume that government is accepting some minimal damage to the environment. But when more and more projects are coming, suddenly government is realizing that lot of environment pollution, man-animal conflict, and they find that tribal communities are affected, local communities are affected. Okay, the biodiversity hotspots like Western Ghats and Northeast Himalayas is affected. So new set of problems will come because of this Environmental Impact Assessment Act. Then a new set of problems will arise. That is why people are warning. So let us assume government is not listening to it and they are going ahead with the law. When the problem comes, once again government will sit and rethink, and they will once again change the provisions in the Environmental Impact Assessment law. They will make an amendment to reduce the impact on environment. Are you able to understand now clearly? So the constitution resolves the basic conflicts, whereas here the law resolves the crisis which is taking place time to time. Okay. So today what is an important event taking place? What is an important event today? Is taking place? Yes. Anyone? Please be interactive, no? Then only it will be lively. The class will be lively.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please. Your name and then tell.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Sir. I'm Revati.
Yes, Revati.
Sir, today Ayodhya Bhumi Puja is going to happen.
Very good. Very good. Okay. The Bhumi Puja for the construction of Ram temple, okay, is
Yes, sir.
almost on. Okay. The proceedings are on. Okay. Now, let us take, okay, the basic conflict, okay, of whether people can practice their own religion, whether people belonging to Hindus, Muslims can have their places of worship and continue the worship, whether there is freedom of religion or not. This is a basic question, okay, in a country. The basic question is whether every individual religions, whether they can practice their religion. That basic conflict is resolved in the constitution. What constitution says? You may be belonging to Christianity, Hinduism, Muslim, Buddhist, Jain, whatever it is, you have the freedom of religion, and you can construct your place of worship. Okay, you can practice your religion. Okay, you can practice your rituals and ceremonies like that. So the basic conflict is resolved, okay, in the constitution. Now what happens is in 1992, please, Babri Masjid is demolished. Babri Masjid is demolished, and they say that Babri Masjid has to be converted back to a temple. Now question arises, if this is resolved, okay, let us allow the construction of Ram temple. When we allow the construction of Ram temple, Okay, you must remember this is not the first time in India. Somnath temple, which was destructed by the foreign invaders, has been reconstructed in the year 1950s. In 1950s, we have reconstructed a temple. Okay, the place where the temple Somnath temple has been demolished, we have reconstructed it. Okay, with the support of the government. So this is the second time the government is facilitating the construction of a temple. Okay, today's editorial is very important. Okay, it talks about this. One of the mediators in the Ayodhya's dispute, he was talking about the entire way the entire process was mediated. Do read that in Hindu today. In today's editorial, the article about the mediation in Ayodhya dispute, please read it. You'll get an idea. Okay. So here the basic, the conflict of freedom is affected. Now 1992 Babri Masjid is abolishing. So some people said, let us grant Ayodhya temple here. But what if, people are asking to convert other mosques also into temples? Okay, so some of you had read 2 weeks before Hagia Sophia, okay, in Turkey, museum, okay, very important museum which reflects the human culture, okay, the Middle East civilization. It has been converted into a mosque by their respective government. Okay, there was criticism across the world. Okay, so in 1992 when Babri Masjid was demolished and they demanded for construction of Ram temple, now there was an issue, okay, that whether religious places can be converted into another religious place. A new issue has occurred. Now to resolve this issue, immediately Parliament is creating a law, okay, a law called as Protection of Places of Worship Act 1991. Okay, so that is mentioned in today's editorial. They are creating a law. Why that law? They say hereafter we will not convert, okay, the places of worship. When there is active worship that is taking place in a particular place, whether it is Hindu worship or Muslim worship, hereafter there won't be any conversion. Okay, in case of Ram Janmabhoomi, they have stopped they've issued an order to stop the practice and other things and all. So drawing lessons from the Ayodhya dispute, an act has been established to ensure that future such things will not happen. So in fact, that has ensured that hereafter nobody will make problem, okay, related to conversion of places of worship into other religious place of worship. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is basic freedom of religion has been guaranteed in the constitution, but a new set of problem is arised. Ayodhya dispute, a dispute is coming. That conflict has to be resolved. To resolve that conflict, okay, they created an act in order to prevent conversion of one religious institution to other religious institution. Okay, so this was I am trying to explain. Okay, so leave all the debate behind the Ayodhya dispute. You want to understand polity using the current examples. That's all. So the basic conflict of freedom of religion. Yes, there is freedom of religion that is settled in the constitution. But when a specific conflict has arisen, it is resolved by a particular law. Okay, fine. Then where is the role of judiciary? This law, when it is implemented, if interpretation problem is there, judiciary will give a final judgment. So in Ayodhya case, people did not agree with the tenets in the constitution. They have different interpretation. They had a different interpretation on the laws of the government. So case was filed and judiciary finally settled the matter. And this is how polity works. Okay. So now after this, we are at least happy that hereafter there won't be bloodshed in a religious conflict because the matter is resolved. Okay, so when Ayodhya judgment was issued in India, surprisingly Muslims did not go for violent protests, or we found that even moderates were accepting the judgment. Even those who are against construction of Ram Mandir, they were accepting to the judgment. That was because there was a huge relief on the side of common people that the dispute is over now. Hereafter there won't be any bloodshed. Once again, this idea is being discussed in today's editorial also very clearly. Not editorial, the open page, right side. Okay, the right side they have discussed. So because 1992 thousands of people died. Okay, now the matter is settled, and that's how we live in polity, peaceful coexistence. Now because of these acts, okay, because of the law, because of the judiciary and the mediation and other things, right now we have come to a common settlement. So hereafter peaceful coexistence is possible. Okay. Do you understand? Yes. Will you please raise your hand if you are getting my point? Please raise your hand if you are agreeing with the point. I mean, you are understanding what we have discussed so far. Okay. 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 So I was looking for that. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. So next is the second function of the constitution is allocation of power. Okay, allocation of power. Okay, allocation of power. Allocation of power. Okay, let me see. Anybody has read the today's open page piece which I am talking about related to Ayodhya judgment? Please click on the hand raise button and okay, you can share 3 important points that you have learned today from that open page. Anyone? எத்தனை பேர் லாகின் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க? அரவிந்த். Yes. Nobody. Do you want to be in toppers list or not, my dear friends? If you want that, you should read newspaper every day. Some toppers may say that, I didn't read the newspaper. Okay, they are telling lies. First, initially for at least 1 year, 2 years, they would have read newspaper. And now they will feel, to quick revision, they can rely on monthly magazines. After getting all the ideas from newspaper, okay, because issues are repeated. Okay, the common terms that is used in polity, economy and other things, after that you can go for a monthly magazine. But initially, when you come into UPSC preparation, to get the rhythm of the society, to understand, you have to read the newspaper. Okay, we are insisting on that, very important. Okay, nobody, some of the toppers will come and tell you, I never read, I just went and wrote the mains examination, I cleared it. Is it possible? Yes, possible, provided it may be the 4th or 5th attempt of that person. You would have read intensively for first 2-3 years and everything is got internalized, but still not getting service because of no luck. So the one attempt they will give a throwaway attempt. They'll just like that go and write and come. But when they are writing, without any pressure, you will be more productive. That is the psychology behind it. Okay, when a person says that I'm giving up, this is the last attempt, just for namesake I'm giving this attempt. Whether I get service or not, I don't mind. Okay, I'll just finish it off and switch over. In that attempt, many people clear. That is because there is no pressure on them. They write productively and clear the examination. Okay, I was telling to the other batch also there yesterday that one of my students, just after attending the interview and before the results came, he said, I'm not having any hope. Last 3 years I went to interview level, I did not clear. So this time also I am not hopeful. I am prepared for switching over to some other career. And he was discussing alternate plans. Sir, what should be done? So I told, no, you postpone this thinking until the final day. Let the results come. I know that you will clear this time definitely, because you have let off all the pressure on you. The mains examination itself, when you wrote, you said that, I'm not worried whether the result is positive or not. It's just a giveaway attempt. Okay. And that person has scored, cleared this examination. Now he will get IAS. Okay. He has got top rank. Okay. IAS for sure he will get, that person. That is what I'm saying. Okay. So when toppers say we never read newspapers, don't believe in that. Okay, never ever believe on that. Okay, you have read newspapers selectively, that they would have taught you. Okay, to reduce the time that you spend on newspaper selectively, but newspapers are must. Keep this in mind. All faculties, we will insist this. Okay, to tell you, if you want to IAS top 100 rank, fine. There are some people, may luckily get through without reading newspaper. Okay, and that why I say lie. If at all they may get 800th rank, 750 rank. Okay, it's a consolation prize, okay, which you won't want now. So if you want top 100 rank, you have to start reading the newspaper. Very, very important. Okay, you will get ideas. No, the ideas. See, we cannot generate too much of ideas. We should listen more, read more to generate ideas. So please do read the newspapers. Okay, fine. Now, the second function of the constitution is allocation of power. Whereas the law is the tool it is used to exercise that power. Okay. The second point is the constitution allocates power, whereas the law is the tool with which we exercise the power. Very good. Now, take the environmental impact assessment bill. The example that is referred by one of the students, EIA, or National Disaster Management Act. Now, whenever there is a problem in environment, we know legislature has to create law and executive has to implement the law. Now, but we have two governments, union government, state government. We have two law-making institutions. We have parliament, we have state legislative assembly. Now the question, who has to make law when there is a problem in environment? Somebody tell me, whenever there is a problem related to environment is coming. Yes. The constitution says it can be created by both center as well as state. Concurrent list, environment. Okay. Then defense related. Let me put an easy question. Okay, maybe you will be able to answer. Defense. Any defense related matters, let us assume a law has to be created. Law related to regulating the procurement of weapons. Okay, to buy weapons, a law they are creating. Now tell me, who has to make law? Parliament or state legislative assembly? Make a guess. Anybody fast?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Your name and give the answer.
Myself, Satyanathan. The
Satyanathan.
answer for your Satyanathan. Satyanathan.
Satyanathan. Okay, okay. Where are you from?
I am from Tirunelveli.
Okay. Your father is somebody related to law?
No, actually, not. He's a government officer, so not related to law.
Oh, anyway, he's related to law. He implements the law, right? A government officer.
Exactly.
May I know what is the reason for your name?
Actually, like it's kind of a quite sentiment story. So
Okay,
maybe
okay.
I'll just put short in.
Fine, agreed. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So
So
now,
if you want, I can tell you.
yeah, fine. Surely we'll meet and you can share it with me. It's good. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
Satyanathan, please proceed. No, yeah. You tell me who has to create a law whenever there is a matter related to defense.
Yeah, so whenever the matter which is related to defense, whenever the matter which is related to make a decisions with respect to from the countryside, it's all depends upon the union legislature, and that decision just to be
Which
taken by the union
Parliament or state
union
legislative?
parliament.
Very good. That is the point I wanted to get. Parliament only can create law related to defense, foreign policy, okay, currency, communication, etc. Okay, all these allocation of power, that is who has to make law, whether parliament or state legislative assembly, whether union government should take decision or state government, is given in the constitution. Constitution allocates power. Okay, so constitution will tell whenever problem in environment is coming, this is the appropriate person to make decision, whether center or state. This allocation of power is done. Okay. Now, law is the tool with which we exercise power. So actually, when a problem is coming, see, environment related problem is coming, both parliament and the state can make law. So now parliament has created a law for the entire country. So the law is a tool with which the allocated power is exercised. Whatever power that is allocated either to parliament or the state legislative assembly, it is being done by the law. Okay. So defense related law, whenever problem is coming, the law will be created by parliament. Now related to say police, okay, some reforms has to be done in police. The constitution says any matter related to police shall be decided by the state legislative assembly. Okay, so the constitution allocates the power, telling that any matters of regulation, any matter related to police, who has to make law, who has to actually take a decision? State legislative assembly, not parliament. This is given in the constitution. Now when really an issue is coming for police, whether police can have an association, whether police should have a weekend holiday, so that law can be made only by state legislative assembly. Okay, and they are taking decision using law. So law is the tool which is used for exercising the power, that allocated power. See, there was one doubt, okay, that was mailed to me, okay, asking, sir, what is the difference between executive and legislature? Okay, so in these types of circumstances, okay, you have to compare and learn, or look at what is current affairs and learn. Just if you Google Prime Minister and Council of Minister, our Prime Minister is Narendra Modi, and he has a Council of Ministers, Amit Shah, Nirmala Sitharaman, Rajnath Singh. Okay, so we have a big list on that. Okay, so all of them are executive, they are government, that is those who implement law. Your MPs, India has 545 MPs. Okay, so you would have voted in election and elected your MP. So all the MPs together, including Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they are called as the legislature, parliament. So parliament consists of around 790 members. Okay, so Rajya Sabha 245. Okay, Lok Sabha 545. It was actually 540. 544. Okay, we will come to this exact number later, because recently last year Jammu and Kashmir, some alteration has been done, some two union territories has been clubbed together. Okay, so when we come to the exact chapter, we will see that the sanction strength. So around 790 people, 790 MPs, members of parliament are there in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. They are legislature. They form the Council of Ministers. From that we form the Council of Ministers. I reiterate it. Okay, don't get confused between the two. Okay, fine. Now the third point is the constitution is relatively permanent. Constitution is relatively permanent, whereas the law is relatively temporary. Okay. See, why I am using the word relatively, it's very important here. The constitution is relatively permanent compared to law. Law is temporary compared to the constitution. Or in other words, to put it easily, it is difficult to change the constitution, but it is easier to change the law. It is difficult to change the constitution. It is easier to change the law. Yes, somebody is raising the hand. You click on the hand raise button. I'll enable. If you have doubts, click on the hand raise button. I'll clarify. Murli? Murli?
Video is not clear, sir.
Sorry?
Video is not clear for most of us.
Okay, so there is a technical issue. It seems that video is not clear and audio is also not clear. Please wait for 5 minutes. Okay, we are working on that technical issue. Please wait. Okay. 5 minutes. Hmm? No, staff இருக்காங்க. Okay, so it seems the technical issue has been resolved. Okay, please enable your video. Yes, please let me know whether the video is clear and audio is clear. வந்து கேட்டாங்கன்னா நான் சொல்லிக்கிறேன். Yes, dear friends, please communicate with me. Tell me whether the audio and the video is fine. Any one of you please click on the hand raise button. Yes, good. Yes, thank you. So those who have enabled the video, they've said it is fine. Okay, I'm getting some text also. Okay, as yes, telling that the audio and video is fine. So I'm continuing. Okay, done. Now constitution is relatively means it is difficult to change the constitution. We need lot of support of many MPs should agree, then only constitution amendment should be made. I will give you the details later, the entire process, how to change the constitution, what is the process and all. The process of changing the constitution is called as amendment. Word amendment. Okay, change. Changing the law also can be called as amendment to the law. Changing the constitution is called as constitutional amendment. Changing the law is called as amending the law. Changing the constitution is very difficult. Changing the law is relatively easy. A simple majority is fine. Okay. Now once again, what is simple majority? Don't worry now, you will understand later. Now just take the point. To change the constitution it is difficult, to change the law it is easy. Okay, fine. Because law resolves specific conflict, the conflict may not be permanent in nature. The conflict will be changing its nature. As I told you, Environmental Impact Assessment Act. Now, development is blocked for India. Development is very important for India. To alleviate poverty and to be a world power, we have to go for rapid development. So now, when compared to that, we are saying that we have to dilute the environmental laws. In future, there may be some environmental concerns, so they want to strengthen the environmental laws. They want to make strict rules. Okay, so they will say that, okay, let us now compromise on development. We will give priority to environment. Okay, so the conflict is the nature of conflict, and the resolutions does not remain the same always. It needs change. So there will be regular change in the law. So they are making it easier to make law and change law. But constitution, no, it should be fixed. Okay, it should be fixed because basic conflicts are resolved. If the constitution keeps on changing frequently, people will not have a hope in the constitution. They will have no reason to stay in the constitution. As I told you, the first function of the constitution is to address the core demands of all sections of the society. Okay, core demands of all the society has to be accepted. That's the first function, by resolving the basic conflict. Now, if constitution is not stable, what will happen? People will not be able to predict the longevity of the promise. Okay, constitution has said this, whether this will be there for long years, in years to come, in future, they will not be sure, because the constitution, if it is changeable easily, people may worry that all the promises made in the constitution can be taken back. The promises made in the constitution can be taken back. If the constitution is relatively permanent, people will be happy. Okay, whatever promises made in the constitution will be permanent. No need to worry. In future also, it won't change much. To change it is very difficult. So they'll be happy about the promise made in the constitution. Okay. So basically you must understand constitution is relatively permanent. Law is relatively temporary. That's it. So these are the three differences that you must know. Okay. Done. Any doubts so far? Okay, today we are entering into the preamble. Okay, preamble. So let us start directly with the fourth unit of the book, preamble, the introduction part. What is preamble? Very simple. Introduction to the constitution. Preamble is introduction, okay, to the constitution. It's an outline, okay, for the constitution. It is an outline. And you may be asking, sir, then why is the word preamble? Because most of those people who wrote the Indian Constitutional Assembly, okay, they are lawyers, okay, legal luminaries, okay. So most of our freedom fighters also, starting from Gandhi, Nehru, okay, you take, many of them are lawyers, okay. What should I do? என்ன பண்ணணும்? Yes, some of you are texting that my video is not clear, but audio is fine. Okay, that is because bandwidth issue. Okay, currently the service provider, there may be a bandwidth issue. Okay, so continue to listen the audio. Okay, we are correcting it then and there, each issue. So the video will get normal within 3 or 5 minutes. Okay, so wait until that. You can continue to hear the audio. Let us not break the class. Is that fine? Okay, so those are enabled the video, please raise your hand to confirm. Yeah, thank you. So preamble is nothing but the introduction, okay, outlined to the Indian Constitution. I suggested Lakshmikant book, right? I said don't go for D.D. Basu and other books, high level books, foreign author books and all. The reason is those who are correcting our papers are Indians. They are comfortable with simple English, not complex English. You read complex, the way you write also will be complex. One example is this. The lawyers who created the constitution, they could have written introduction to Indian constitution, simple. Everybody would have understood. But since they have learnt very highly complex, okay, and they're good, very, very good at English, because all of them learned in UK, in foreign countries. Okay, so that is the reason why their wording is also so complex, high level language. Okay, but you have, in order to score maximum, you have to write simple language. Sometimes those who get first prize in essay competition and other people, they'll get less marks in essay in UPSC. The reason is in normal essay competition and all, you write a flowery language, high level language, you get more marks, you get first prize. But in UPSC, the idea is they are testing whether you are able to convey your message to others normally. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, your drafting skills is what tested in UPSC, how well you are writing. Through your writing, whether you are able to communicate it to a normal person, a lay person. If you are able to do that, that's fine. So just preamble is nothing but the introduction to the constitution. Now preamble has 4 parts. Preamble has 4 parts. Okay, first it talks about the first part of the preamble. It talks about source of authority. For what? The constitution. Second, it talks about nature of Indian polity. Third, it talks about objectives. Third, it talks about objectives. And fourth, it talks about the date in which we have adopted the constitution. What is that date? November 26th, 1949. Okay. The constitution started to enforce January 26, 1950. All of you know, which we celebrate as Republic Day. But this is the date on which we adopted the constitution. We adopted the constitution. Okay, this is the date in which we have adopted the constitution. Okay, so why these 2 dates? It's because the year 1930 is the first time we declared Purna Swaraj. Purna Swaraj means complete independence. Until 1930, we were not asking for complete independence. We said, okay, let the Britishers rule, let the UK, United Kingdom, rule us. Okay, let the Britishers rule us, not a problem. But Indians required the autonomy to rule. We said, we'll rule by ourselves under the British. Okay, so we will accept Queen as our head and we will remain like how Canada is working, how Australia. We asked for dominion status. Dominion means we said that we will be under you, but everything individual, like autonomous colleges. See, most of the engineering colleges, all of them are affiliated to Anna University, but the autonomous colleges function by itself. The syllabus, curriculum and other things, they do by themselves. Similarly, in administration also, the paramountcy the ultimate control will be with the Britishers. The Indians will rule themselves. That is what we called as dominion till 1930. But after 1930, we started to ask for complete independence. We said that you should not be part of India at all. All the connections has to be completely cut. Okay. So the resolution for Purna Swaraj, complete independence as accepted in November 26th. And January 26th, we observed the Independence Day. We did not get independence directly from the British. We ourselves declared that we are independent. So symbolically, we did things in opposed to the British regime. Okay, so that was done in January to commemorate this, to keep this two events in memory only. We have this November 26th, we are adopting the constitution. January 26th, we are enforcing the constitution. August 15th is actually British gave us the freedom. Okay, so that is a separate date, but we really wanted independence on that day, or January 26th. So that is why we celebrate two things. Okay, in a given country there will be one national day only, but in India we celebrate two things. One is Independence Day and another is Republic Day. Okay, in order to remember the events. And why it is quoted as Republic? Republic means the country is administered by public. No monarchy, no queen, no king. Okay, the administration is done by the people, public. That is why Republic. Okay, so when we are accepting the constitution, year after, no king, no queen, the constitution is going to rule and people are going to administer. Indians are going to administer our country. So that is why, to say that no more we are under the monarchy, we are ruling ourselves, Republic Day is celebrated. Okay, we'll further understand when we come to the keyword Republic. I'll explain again. So now, as of now, Republic means public, administration by the public, common people. Okay. And this November 26, 1949 is celebrated as Constitution Day. It's celebrated as Constitution Day. It is also celebrated as Law Day. It is also celebrated as Law Day. It is also celebrated as Law Day. Okay, so this is also celebrated as Law Day. In fact, in 2008, when the Mumbai terror attacks took place, the terrorists chose November 26th. The terror attack in Mumbai 2008, the major attack, they chose November. Why November 26th? Symbolic, okay, to telling that they are attacking the Indian polity itself, because this is the date in which we have declared complete independence. This is the date in which we have adopted the constitution. Okay. See how iron it is. The terrorists know better about Indian polity than us, citizens of this country. Okay. Many of us doesn't know that November 26th is the date in which we adopted the constitution. Okay, until they read for UPSC, okay, or TNPC exams. Okay, but terrorists know about the entire history and polity of this country. That's why the symbolic attack is. Okay, let's see one by one. Now the discussion is not over. So yours is a PCM batch, right? Okay, so if it's prelims batch alone, I will say these are the 4 parts and I'll move on. But we should have discussion on what are these things in detail, okay, in order to equip you to take up the mains examination. Okay. First, source of authority of constitution. Source of authority. What is authority? To understand what is authority, first we have to know what is power. Okay. Now we took an example of this restaurant, that non-vegetarian, vegetarian, etc., like that. Now just imagine that you want to sit and study, but your roommate is saying that it's feeling bored, so let us go out and have dinner and come back. You know that if you're going for dinner, anyway 2 hours to 3 hours will be gone. So you are just refusing to friend, telling that no, I will not come, I want to study Indian polity, okay, or any other subject, okay, fine. At the end of the day, what happens is your friend is able to convince you, okay, and ensure that you go along with him for the movie. So you are going along with your friend. Now, what has happened? This situation is what we called as power situation. Your friend has exercised power over you. So, what do you mean by power? Power is the ability to influence others to do something whether they agree or not. The ability. Okay, the ability to influence people to do something whether they like it or not. That is called as power. Will we allow others to exercise power over us? Normally. No, we won't. We are all egoistic individuals. Maybe we want to exercise power over our friends, family, people, etc. But we will not allow others to exercise power over us. That's a basic psychology. But however, for our own benefit, we agree certain people, a certain institution to exercise power over us. For example, our parents. No, you will take the suggestions given by your parents, you will allow them to exercise power over you. Okay. Likewise, you allow the police to question you if you are wandering outside in the night. During Corona times, when you go out during lockdown, police is coming and asking you a question, where are you going? And they are saying that you should not go, you should go back to your home. Okay, so your movement is decided by the police. They are under full control. Now it is what? They are exercising power over you. Okay, but you are accepting to that. When the policeman asks a question, you politely reply, you request the person telling that it's a serious issue, so I have to move to a particular place, like that. Okay, so that accepted power is called as authority. Okay, power is something which is used without the person's consent, but when the person agrees, okay, for my betterment only, police is doing this, so I will go with what the police is doing. I'll allow the police to exercise power over me. Then it is called as accepted power. In other words, it's called as legitimate. Legitimate power. Okay, often in newspapers you will find the word legitimacy. What does it mean? A degree of acceptance, how far people are accepting to it. Okay, so when they are saying a particular decision of the government is legitimate, then we will say that we are actually conveying that it is as a highest acceptance rates among the people. You should know the difference between what is legal and legitimacy. That is also, be clear. Newspapers, when they use the word legal, that is different. The word legitimacy is different. Legitimacy is acceptance by the people, whereas legal is a complete acceptance. That is as per law, it is valid. Sometimes a particular thing may be legal but not legitimate. Meaning, government will take a decision with its authority, full authority, but it may not be accepted by people. So in those circumstances, it is legal because it comes from government, absolutely lawful. Okay, it is not illegal, but however, since acceptance is not there, we will say that is illegitimate. Okay, legitimacy is not there. Okay. So authority is accepted power. There is legitimacy. So when we say that a district collector is exercising authority, when we say the prime minister is exercising authority, the people have accepted that they are the people who can exercise power. When we accept that police can exercise power, then people have accepted the authority of the police. So we can call them as an authority. Okay, so the word authority is approval, acceptance should come from people. Now, what is the first point of in the subject preamble? We are saying that the preamble talks about the source of authority of the Indian Constitution, meaning, okay, whether the Constitution is having approval of the people or not. When we use the word source of authority, it means that whether the Constitution is having the approval of people or not. As per the Constitution says, the first part of preamble says, the source of authority of Indian Constitution is people of India. People of India. How we can say that? Okay, because the preamble starts with the word we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, democratic Republic India, and justice, equality, liberty to ensure dignity to all individuals, unity and integrity. So all the keywords will come next. Okay, that is second, third part. Okay, but here the key word, we the people of India. This actually denotes that the Constitution is created by people of India, so it has the acceptance of the people. We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic Republic of India. Okay. And in the ending words also, after all the content, okay, the content which we will see later, it says we enact means create, adopt, and give to ourselves this constitution on November 26, 1949, the date. Okay, so once again we are saying we enacted it, we created it, we adopted it, and who gave it to us? We gave it to ourselves. We created, adopted, and give this constitution to ourselves. So the constitution as the source of authority, acceptance from the people of India. Okay, prelims question they will give. The source of authority of Indian Constitution is people of India. Whether the statement is correct or not. Okay, some of you answer, please click on the hand raise button. Whether the statement is correct or not, I'll repeat the statement. The source of authority of people of India, I'll repeat the statement. The source of authority of the Constitution of India is people of India. Yes. Speak, no? Speak. You know, if the name appears, Murli, name solunga, illana last three numbers, unique ID. அதை சொல்லுங்க சொன்னீங்கன்னா நான் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்ட்டு கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணிடுறேன், அவங்க அதுக்கப்புறம் பேசட்டும். ஸோ அவங்க எனேபிள் ஆயிருக்காங்களா இல்லையான்னு தெரியாது இல்லையா? யாழினி, எஸ். Supriya.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good
Can
morning.
you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the statement would be correct, sir.
Statement
the Constitution derives its authority from the people.
Good. Please wait. It's Suprito, right?
Supriyo, sir.
Supriyo. Spell it, no? Spell it for me, yes.
Supriyo.
Okay, Supriyo. Okay, fine. Got it. Okay. Now stay on our Supriyo for a while. I have another thing. Okay, let's interact. Okay, help me in the teaching process. Okay. Now, prelims question is over. Okay, how they will ask question in the mains examination. Okay, do you think?
Okay.
See, this is how they put question. Do you think the source of authority of the constitution is really with people of India? Now, simply you are saying that it. Wait,
I think so,
Supriya.
sir. I think so.
Okay, you've given the answer. You think so? Okay. So first, let us do like this. Okay, first the question, then I'll explain the concepts. Then I will help you to structure the question, how to answer the main question. Okay.
Okay.
Now the question is, you can take down the question. Do you think the source of authority?
Yes, sir.
The source of authority of Indian Constitution. The source of authority of the Indian Constitution is really with the people of India. Is really with the people of India.
Wrote it down, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now I'll explain the concept, then we will structure the answer. Okay, we should think
Sure.
why such question is arising, because the UPSC is asking you when there is a clear statement that source of authority of Indian Constitution is people of India given in the preamble. Why such question? It's because in world over, whenever a constitution is written, constitution is a basic document which manages this. We will tell who's going to rule us, what is the method of electing the judges, parliamentarians, and the government. Okay, so constitutions are created by usually constituent assembly. Usually any new country, independent country, in the modern times, in the 20th century, when they are establishing, they will create it through a constitution. The constitution will be created by constituent assembly, meaning a group of people for that purpose. Now, how they should be elected? Direct election. All people know of the country, they have to send their representatives, and this representatives, when they are creating the constitution, and then they will put this constitution to the vote by the people. So people will put a vote. When majority of them saying okay for the constitution, it will say that okay, people have accepted it, because authority means acceptance of the people. How do you assess whether people have accepted or not? The document should have been created by direct representatives of people first, and there should be an approval from the people also. Okay, as of now we call this process as referendum. What is referendum? Putting a vote, putting a document for voting from the people is what we call it as referendum. When we want some opinion from the people, okay, we ask the people, all of them come and vote. That is called as referendum. Voting is you elect representatives. Referendum is you vote to give your opinion. Okay, tell that whether you are okay with the document or not. Okay. So usually this is the process, but in India it was completely different. The Constituent Assembly that was created in India, it was elected by indirect election. Indirect. There was no direct election, indirect election. Indirect election. There was no voting and all, referendum and all. People largely coming and voting and all, no, they don't have the voting, did not vote. How we are saying it is an indirect election? Okay. In indirect election is, instead of people's representative will be electing. I'll give you one example. Lok Sabha, we directly vote and select our MPs. That is called as direct election. But for Rajya Sabha, we do not take part in the election. Our MLAs, our representatives in the state level, state legislative assembly, they will vote. This is called as indirect election. President's election, directly we will not vote for the president. MLAs, MPs, they will vote for the president. It is called as indirect election. Okay. So indirect election. Before 1947, We had 3 provinces. Okay, we had 3 provinces. Or British administrative units, we can call administrative units. Right now in India, we have 2 types of administrative units. One is state, another is union territory. State of Tamil Nadu, state of Kerala, Karnataka, and we have union territory. Delhi, Pondicherry, recently Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, Jammu and Kashmir in fact changed from state to union territory. So we have 2 administrative units. Okay, right now. But before 1947, the British times, they had 3 administrative units. One was called as British provinces. Second, princely states. Princely states. And third set of administrative unit was called as Chief Commissioner provinces. Chief Commissioner provinces. Okay, so those areas which was directly administered by the British were called as British provinces. Madras province, which included the present day Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala and Andhra Pradesh. Bombay province, the western part of the country. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. Eastern, that is Bengal province. Okay, Calcutta, those areas. United province, UP and some parts of Bihar, like that. Okay, so directly administered provinces. Princely states means the erstwhile Maharajas, Nizams and Nawabs, okay, those who ruled India traditionally, they would have continued to rule. Okay, Nizams, Nawabs, they continue to rule. Okay, they continue to rule princely states. Okay, they continue to rule. But however, the paramountcy will be with the British. They are using the word paramountcy, meaning ultimate control. Paramount means ultimate. Para, bigger mountain, ultimate control. Paramountcy is with the British. So the British will be calling the shots. Okay, the local problems will be taken care by the princely states. So Maharajas, Nizams and Nawabs. And Chief Commissioner provinces is similar to present day Union Territory. Delhi was a Chief Commissioner province. Okay, so Chief Commissioner provinces is similar to, not same, it is similar to the present day Union Territories. Which means direct control from the Viceroy or the Governor General of India. Okay, directly central government will make a control. These British provinces, they have a state administration. For example, Madras province, there will be a governor for it and a governing council for it. But Chief Commissioner process directly. Just like what is happening right now. State governments have their own governments, they work independently. But union territories, whether they have government or not, they have to work completely under the central government. They are under complete control of the central government. Likewise, Chief Commissioner provinces were under complete control of the government. Central government, union government. Now what happened is, the Constituent Assembly, every British province had a provincial legislature. What do you mean by this? They had a law-making body. Okay, they had a law-making body, provincial legislature. It is similar to present-day state legislative assembly. Every state is having a state legislative assembly, right? Okay, same way, British provinces, okay, they have a state legislature. From this state legislature, provincial legislature, okay, they will be electing the members. So how this provincial legislature people are elected? They are also elected by not all people. They are elected by only few people. Only some people who are educated. who are having property, those who pay tax. So those people, elected members to the provincial legislature. From there, they are going for constituent assembly. So constituent assembly is indirect election. They are elected from the. Now, in case of princely states, they were nominated. What is the nomination? Named. Okay, so the Maharaja or Nizam or Nawab, they'll say, okay, person A, you go and represent it in the Constituent Assembly. Person B, you go and represent this Constituent Assembly. So it was not election, it was the choice of the Maharajas. It is the choice of the Nawabs and Nizams. So princely states were represented by nominated members. Chief Commissioner provinces also, okay, nomination only. Okay, so the central government will appoint, okay, you go and represent like that. Okay, so no elections for the second two. And Supriyo, are you in line?
Yes, sir.
I'll ask you one question. When the Maharaja or an Nizam is appointing some person to Constituent Assembly, that person, whether he will speak for the welfare of people or whether he will talk for powers to be given to the people or whether he will be talking to safeguard the interest of the Maharaja.
The latter one, sir, means he will talk for safeguarding the interest of the Maharaja.
Very good. He will be
because
talking.
He owes allegiance to it.
Very good. He'll
because he owes allegiance to it.
Yeah, safeguard the interest of the Maharaja because he is loyal. Allegiance, that's the right word. Okay, to put it simply, loyalty. Okay, and he is being paid salary by the Maharaja. Okay, so you will show all your
Yes,
respect and interest towards the person who's paying your salary and taking care of you. So that is why people questioned. Okay, you make a constitution using nominated members. How could the nominated members speak for the people? They would have spoken for the interest of the Maharaja only. Okay, so that is what they say. Then Chief Commissioner province also, it's nominated. So that is where people raise the question on the Constituent Assembly. Okay, they raised a question whether, they say that they did not accept some sections of Indian society. They said, we don't agree with the Constitution. The Constitution does not reflect India. And if you see Indian Constitution, it does have a lot of Western values. Okay, true, most of our leaders, studied in abroad. They were attracted by the ideas of equality, liberty, and fraternity. Okay, so where we have taken these three words from? Any guess? Liberty, equality.
Yes, sir. French Revolution.
Very good. French Revolution. So we have taken it from the French Revolution, and these values reflect the Western culture. Okay. So some people said that the Indian Constitution is talking about something Western. There is nothing Indian about Indian Constitution. These were the two accusations. Okay, that was made. Two accusations that was made on the Constituent Assembly, and they said that the Constituent Assembly was Congress. It does not have any
Yes.
kind of political opinion because majority of the members, huge majority of the members were Congress. In fact, there was one criticism telling that the Constituent Assembly was the Congress was the Constituent Assembly. Okay. Like yesterday's editorial, like Chief Justice of India is Supreme Court is the Chief Justice of India. Like that, one comment was made by Prashant Bhushan. Okay, so that time they said all the members were Congress, then how could we accept it as a Constituent Assembly or a constitution created by all people of India? Because in other countries and all, what they will do is they will select representatives from all political parties. They will ensure that all political parties are represented in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, they will say that only that institution shall be a perfect Constituent Assembly, and that constitution should be the accepted one. In case of Nepal, India is not agreeing the new Nepalese constitution, or we are critical about the Nepalese constitution because they did not give enough space for Madeshis. Who are Madeshis? Madeshis are ethnically connected to India. They are connected to Bihari people. Okay, so these Madeshis are staying in Nepal. They are not given their due representation and their interest is not protected. So India is saying that we are not okay with your constitution, please change the constitution. Logic, right? The same argument. Only when all political parties is coming together, we will say that it is a assembly where all political opinion is there, and any document that is created, that document we can say it is acceptance of all people. The constitution as the authority of people, we can say it like that. Now you are having only Congress people, and how could you say that it is a document created by all the people of India? Got it? Okay. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is why there is a criticism on the constitution telling that it does not have the source of authority of the people of India. In fact, I'll tell you, supposing today I write a constitution, I myself, Satyapal Deepak, writes a constitution. In that, whatever provisions I want, whatever mechanisms, whatever government forms, I am writing it. And in introduction alone, I am putting that we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into. And I am also using the word we, enact, adopt, and this constitution, and I just sign the document. Can we say that document has the authority of people of India just by the words? Supriyo, yes.
No, sir. No, sir. It can't be said so, sir.
Yes, it can't be said so. That is what people criticize. How come the members of Constituent Assembly, their ideas, they have written it, they have created a document, and introduction alone they have written, we the people of India having solemnly resolved. Where is the people of India, they said? Where is their signature? Where is their actual approval on the constitution? So some sections of Indian society did not agree that source of authority is with the people of India. Okay, I think now you understood the context. Now, yes.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes, Supriyo.
At that, sir, if the constitution had to be a popular body, means as you have said, means through referendum or direct elections, but the direct elections, in indirect elections, the people have to be educated and literate to means elect their representatives, right, sir? Means, but at that time it was not possible because India was already reeling under the colonial pressure, and colonial times have already means withered away means Indian education system and everything. So how it would be possible then to make a direct election and elect popular body, make the constituent assembly a popular body?
Okay. Now, as your question, I will summarize your question. He is asking, when people are largely illiterate, how come they can be involved in an election process? They should be educated, but this is a misconception. I would like to clarify on this. You must know there is difference between educated and politically literate, politically aware people. The people of India at the time of independence were more politically aware and participating in politics than the present generation, than the other generations that followed, because they involved themselves in the freedom struggle. Every day they were talking about Gandhi's strategy. They were talking about the wrong policies of the British government. Okay, and they were kept informed by our leaders continuously. Indian movement was a mass movement, freedom struggle. So the Indian population was politically more aware, politically capable of taking decision at that time. Okay, then they may be illiterates, but they were politically aware. So we can say that they are politically literates. So that argument telling that referendum is not possible because people are not educated cannot be accepted. But
yeah, okay.
But the thing is, the infrastructure to conduct direct election, you need to first enumerate all the eligible people, right? A big exercise has to take in care.
Yes.
For that, one institution
Yes,
has to be established. That institution should be established by constitution only. And so the first point is to create a mechanism for direct election at that time was very difficult. It would have taken longer period. So we will not have a constitution immediately. We would have taken a decade to create a constitution, because constitution itself is, Indian constitution is longly debated constitution for 3 years, 1946 to 49, 3 years we debated. Okay, so just assume you want to conduct direct election, then constitute, then you have to do it. It will be difficult. The process will be difficult. That is one thing. Okay, then second is the Britishers were leaving us fast, so partition took place already. India, Pakistan, new two countries and a lot of migration. So now government is busy controlling. Now you cannot do this exercise of enumerating all the people into the electoral roll and conduct the elections. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is very difficult. That is why they went for a most easiest method, that is indirect election. Already elections have occurred and you have provincial legislatures. From that, if you are electing, the process will be easier to constitute a constituent assembly. We can expedite the process of making the constitution, which is a dire need of the country at that time. We need some document, need some set of rules to manage the country. We cannot live in chaos or anarchy, they call. Anarchy means
Yes, sir.
government without any rules, or no government, no authority. People will have to fight. Somalia is an example for anarchic state. Okay, and ISIS, Islamic State, recent times, they are all examples of anarchy. No government, no rules. So we cannot afford to have a longer periods of uncertainty. So that is why we did not go for the direct election. Okay. See, I'm putting as even freshers can understand it. Okay, just listen. Okay, casually listen. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir. Then why people is included in the means constitution? Then the word people.
I'll come. Wait for that discussion. Okay.
Okay.
So direct election was not possible. That is one reason. Okay. And for the question, whether the constitution has a authority of the people of India, it is accepted widely by many of them. Yes, the source of authority is with the people of India, but they should give some evidence supporting, because those who are criticizing the authority of the constitution is with people of India, they are putting a lot of substantial points, right? Concrete points they are giving.
Yes.
So when somebody is saying that source of authority is with the people of India, you have to give concrete points. What are the concrete points? The first thing is, okay, the constituent assembly may be indirectly elected, okay, but 1952 general elections took place. This is the first point. 1952 general election. That is, after constitution came into force, they are going for a list. Okay, they are taking who are all Indian citizens and who are all eligible to vote, and first general election in which all the Indian citizens are participating. And for every election, there will be some idea on which the election is fought. Okay, you will be fighting the elections for some reason. So what would have been the issue in the first election? The issue in the first election is whether the constitution should continue or whether it should be rewritten again. So those who were critical of the constitution went to the people and they said, vote us to power. When you vote us to power, we will go and rewrite the entire constitution. Because the constituent assembly that was created is indirect election. This direct election, when you elect as your MPs, we will go and our first task is to tear down the existing constitution and we'll write new constitution. And what was the response of Congress? Congress ensured that most of its members in the Constituent Assembly to stand in the election. And Congress declared that we will ensure this constitution is implemented continuously. Okay. And all the Constituent Assembly members, they went to the people and said, we have written to you a very good constitution. This constitution only can save the country. Okay, this constitution only will ensure the unity of this country, stability of this country. Like the candidates went and spoke to the people. And now people are voting. 1952 general election. The members of the Constituent Assembly, those who wrote the constitution, they invariably won in the election. The members of the Constituent Assembly, okay, invariably won. Invariably won. In the first general election. So when the 1952 general election results came, Constituent Assembly members who stood in the election win, and that too with huge margin. 1,90,000, 80,000, like that, huge margin. Unexpected, okay, unexpected. Now when people have voted in 1952, just after the constitution has been created, and in the entire election the issue was about whether the constitution should stay or not, and people have voted for the Constituent Assembly members who wanted to safeguard the constitution. It clearly is a referendum. Even though it is a general election, it is equal to a referendum. It is equal to people showing acceptance to the Constitution of India. That is the first point. That is the first point. Okay. The second point is that the Indian Constituent Assembly members, no, we said Congress, but Congress itself, if you see the freedom time, it is a political party of parties, we can say. The word itself, Congress. There were many political parties in India during the British regime. They were against the British. They need one platform to fight the British. So annually they came to a place and met. So that was initially Congress. If you see the real meaning of the word Congress, Congress is group of people or group. It is an association of different thinking people or different set of people. So Congress, if you say Congress was Constituent Assembly for Congress, that argument is not clearly explained because Congress itself was a diverse institution. It had all political opinions. We had right-wing people inside Congress. Okay, we had left-wing people. Okay, left-wing. Right-wing means I'll explain in detail later. Right now, for example, BJP is called a right-wing party. Okay, so the progenitors of BJP was already in Congress during the freedom struggle. Okay, left-wing communist parties. Okay, we see they were also part of the Indian National Congress, Indian freedom movement. Okay, they were left-wing people. After independence, only slowly everybody segregated. But initially, all the political parties were part of Congress. Moderates were there. Extremist people, like those who want to use violence, they were also part of the Congress. We see Nehru is part of the Congress. Subhash Chandra Bose is also part of the Congress. Patel is also part of Congress. Okay, Ambedkar was once a part of the Congress. Even though he had his own political party, he is part of the Congress initially. Later on, he left. Okay, that is a different story. So Congress maximum gave representation to all. And at the time of creating the constitution, they ensured all are represented. Even though those political parties left the Congress, they were also elected. Remember, when Ambedkar was elected with the support of Congress, Ambedkar was already out of Congress. So Congress ensured that candidates from all political parties, candidates from all political shades of opinion is represented in the Constituent Assembly. Okay, so which means what? You had representation of all people, so there should be acceptance by the people. Then all kinds of people, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, within Hindus also Sikhs, Jains, and if you see scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe people, people from northeast, okay, name it, everybody was given representation. The Congress ensured that this indirect election takes place in such a manner, nominations also is done in such a manner, there is wide representation of all sections of the society. So the second point is the Constituent Assembly is a representative body. So it has a legitimacy of the people. Since it's representation, we can say it has a legitimacy. Okay, that's the second point. The third point, okay, how many of you are questioning the Constitution? Very few, a few section. Even in the recent times, those who have questioned the Constitution are very few. We can say they are a small portion. A majority of our people have accepted the Constitution. There is no direct opposition to the Constitution. In many other countries, people have revolted against the Constitution. They keep fighting against the Constitution. But in India, okay, people has accepted and they lived with this Constitution for 70 years. 70 years. When something is existing for 70 years across generations, which means what? There is acceptance, right? It's very simple. If you are not opposed, it means you are supported, right? Or you are okay with the existing system. That is why there is no protest. So there is no widespread protest against the Constitution of India in the democracy of India. So we can say that Constitution has the acceptance of the people. Only if you and I accept with the existing system, we will not protest. We don't agree, we will fight. Okay, so legitimacy comes from the fact, acceptance of the people comes from the fact that there is no protest. Okay. Are you able to understand this? Okay, so Constituent Assembly, 1952 general election should be noted. Okay, then after that, this should be noted. The second point is wide representation. Third is no opposition. And fourth point, you can also mention the foreword of the constitution says that we the people of India. Okay, so wording also, it means that the authority is with the people of India. Okay, people of India. And so there is another criticism, right? No, the Indian constitution is not having Indian values. You can write that the principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity is not just a cut copy paste from the Western. Okay, there are many instances in Indian history where we have equality, liberty, and fraternity spoken here itself. Okay, it's a big discussion, but I'll put one example. Buddha. What is the prime teaching of Buddha? Anybody? Yes, I think
Yes.
Supriyo. Yeah.
Yes. It's we have Panchashil of Buddha. We have Ashtangik Marg, or the middle path, which he taught us.
I want.
And we also have. Yes, please, sir.
Why middle path? Why that eightfold path?
Eightfold path is,
No, I don't want
actually.
I don't want the explanation. I'm asking for why ultimately middle paths?
To achieve nirvana, sir. To achieve that nirvana means moksha. What he means in Buddhism, moksha is called nirvana. So to achieve nirvana.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, moksha, I agree. In world life, in related to practical life, what he preaches, inequality or equality?
He preaches equality because his rise came from the backdrop of Brahmanical religion, means Protestant religion. He led the Protestant religion in 6th century BC, and his teaching was to strive equality among all sects, because there was Brahmanical domination by that time.
Short. Once again, see, for all the aspirants, whenever a question is asked, especially in interview, you should give your answer as short as possible while expressing larger ideas. Okay, so the idea is 3 to 4 sentences.
Anti-Brahmin.
Okay.
He was anti-Brahmin and preached equality.
Equality. Okay, that is the keyword. Okay, let's not go into the thing and all. No, see, all freshers, immediately you use very heavy words like this, they will protest and go out of the class. Okay, so we will stick with the lesser and easy words. Okay, Supriyo?
Okay, sir.
Equality. Now tell me equality, whether it is Indian or we have borrowed it from Western. Immediately, yeah, it is Indian. Immediate inspiration was from West. Equality, liberty, French Revolution. Okay, because the Indian leaders who studied in Western countries, they studied Western ideas only. Later on only they realized that these concepts are already Indian only. Okay, I'll be teaching about it later. Okay, even liberty, Charvaka philosophy, Ajvika philosophy is there in India. For freshers, don't worry, you'll learn about these philosophies later. Okay, they centralize on the concept of liberty, freedom. Okay, and Sanatana Dharma of Hinduism is more about fraternity only. Okay, it talks about the holism of the society. Even though there is some criticism on that, the major idea of Vedas is fraternity. And Veda itself is emphasizes on equality. One was read Vedas would say that it is completely different from the perception what we have of Hinduism right now. Okay, so the Rig Vedic times, leave the other 3 Vedas. The Rig Vedic times, it's preached about equality. Okay, let's come to the point, that is the philosophies in the preamble, like equality and other things, is Indian. Okay, it is wrongly criticized as Western philosophies. Okay, and you take our leaders, freedom fighters also, they were also talking for equality, starting from Ram Mohan Roy. Okay, and Rabindranath Tagore and Gandhi, all of them were speaking about equality. Okay, if you take Tamil Nadu's case, Periyar, in case of Kerala's case, Narayana Guru, Maharashtra's case, Jyotiba Phule, Okay, in case of Karnataka, okay, Basvanna, okay, the god of Lingayat community. Okay, so all these people were talking about equality. So the idea of equality is part and parcel of the Indian way of life. So the criticism telling that Indian constitution is Western is wrong. Indian constitution is absolutely Indian. Okay. So in examination you concentrate on the first part, Constituent Assembly part. This whether Indian constitution philosophy is Indian or not. If they are directly asking, then you mention this point. Otherwise, since it is sensitive, leave that point. Okay. Now you quote the other 4 points. Okay, telling that Indian constitution is having the source of authority of people of India. I think all of you know is now having an idea. You know why they criticize the constitution's source of authority, and you also know why the source of authority is absolutely the people of India. Okay. Now let us go and talk about the structuring of the answer in mains examination. How to be specific while a question is asked. Okay, structuring is very important. You will know ideas, but you have to put it in 150 words. All these ideas. Okay, how to do it very specifically. Okay, so first in this question underline the keyword source of authority. Source of authority is the keyword. So we have to discuss whether Indian constitution's source of authority is people of India or not. Okay, so in 2 lines explain what is authority when you start. Okay, so tell that authority is whether people are agreeing to the constitution. See, 1 line. Authority is whether people are agreeing to the constitution. And the second part of the second, after this 1 line, immediately you have to jump to the second line. Second is you have to tell why the question has asked, context of the question. You have to address the context of the question. The context means why the text have come. What is the reason they have asked the question? Okay, yes, Supriyo, can you tell me in short 3 lines what is the context of the question? Why they are asking this question? I explained a lot of this.
Sir, can you please repeat?
Yeah, I'll repeat.
Sir, can you please repeat the exact question?
Okay, that is why I asked you to take note. The first instance. Okay, hereafter when I ask you to take
Sir,
note.
I'm taking notes.
Okay, when I
okay,
say
the source of the authority of the Indian Constitution is really with the people of India, right?
Exactly,
one, right?
exactly that question. That question. We are discussing that question. Do you think that the authority, source of authority of Indian Constitution is really with the people of India or not? So that is the question. So first step you have described the authority. The second step, okay, is context of the question. Okay, so I have discussed many things, right? 3 administrative units, indirect election, why no direct election, all that we have discussed. But I want Supriyo to answer in 3 lines the context of the question. Whatever we discussed, 3 lines.
Apparently it looks to be framed by a body of elites which who did not had any means direct connection, means direct, who was not directly elected by the people, but then the people approved it later, making
No.
Yes, sir.
No, we are dealing with the structure of the answer now. So second, only context of the question. So you have to say why this question is asked. Okay, we can frame like this. We can say that the Constituent Assembly was not directly elected. Very simple. Hit the question directly. No complex sentences, no extra wordings and all. The Constituent Assembly is not directly elected by the people, and most of the members in the Constituent Assembly were from Congress party. This is the reason why people criticize that the Constituent Assembly did not have the authority of people. So Constitution of India does not have the source of authority of people of India. Done. Okay. So I'm trying to streamline. I'm trying to fine tune you. Okay. Because we won't have time and space to write many things in the paper. So hit that question directly. Okay. Put direct sentences, direct and simple sentences. Yes. Okay. Can we have some other volunteer? Yeah. Third part of the question now. Third part of the question. What have to do? Third part of the question. You have to give your opinion. They have asked the question, no? Do you
Hello.
think? Yeah. Who's
Hello,
on the
can
line?
you hear me, sir?
Yeah, you're audible. What is your name?
Sir, my name is Rupesh. My doubt is regarding what are the difference between faith and belief in preamble, sir?
You have to wait for that. I'll come to
Hello.
that question later. Okay. Faith and belief. I'm going to explain that. Okay. Because we have not entered into preamble. We are still at source of authority. We'll finish this question first. Then we will enter that area. I'll come to that. You should wait. Okay. Fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Now I need a volunteer who will first complete the structure of the answer. Yes. The third part of the answer should be you have to answer the question. Do you think? The question word, no? They're asking, what is your opinion? So instead of waiting till the conclusion, directly give the opinion. Okay. So that is the third part of the answer. Third part of the answer. Now, some volunteer, please click on the hand raise button and give the answer. How will you write the third part? I said you third part, you have to answer to the question, do you think the source of authority of the constitution is the people of India? Because you have said what is authority, you have said why they are, in second part you have addressed, why there is a criticism that authority of the constitution is not people of India. Now third is, you have to answer, yes.
Sir, this is Vimal, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Vimal, yes, Vimal, please.
Sir, you are asking about the conclusion portion, right, sir?
No, not conclusion. This is, you have to first substantiate, then only conclude. Okay. The third
Yes,
part
first
is to clarify.
Yes, sir,
you should communicate to the examiner that which stand you are taking. Because they asked, do you think that question they have asked? So which stand, whether you say that authority of people of India is with the people of India or not? Yes.
Yes, sir. I take a stand that since it's been 17 years and we don't have a wide range of protest or something like that, and I will substantiate it with the points that the Congress was wholly elected in the 1952 election. So it's like a referendum.
I want you to give answer in one line.
Sir, I will go with the confusion that.
You are writing the answer now. Imagine you are not answering me. You are writing it in the mains paper. How will you write? Tell me the exact sentence.
Sir, the Indian citizens are the source of authority of Indian Constitution.
That's all. Very good. You should not say that I think and like that and all. Don't write. Write the statement. Okay. Thus, however, after writing the problem, telling that some are criticizing that source of authority of the Indian Constitution is not people of India. The next step is you should write the source of authority of the Constitution of India is with the people of India because of the following reasons. Okay, you have to clearly tell the examiner what stand you are taking. So before giving the substantial points, you have to give the statement, your stand. Okay, so now examiner will be happy that you have taken a stand. Now he will check whether you are having points, valid points. So there comes the next part of the answer. You have to substantiate your stand. You have to substantiate your stand. Whatever stand you have taken, you have to substantiate. So Vimal, whatever points you said, 70 years no opposition, 1952 general election, okay, and the people were widely represented. Every section was represented in the Constituent Assembly. So, and even nominated members, even though they were nominated by the Rajas, they were speaking for the interest of the people only. They wanted democracy. They did not want the erstwhile Rajas. Okay, so the manner of discussion also was democratic. So these points can be given in the fourth part of the answer. So after taking a stand, you have to substantiate your stand. Okay, you have to give supporting points for your. Got it? And then once again conclude. Conclude is nothing but rephrasing everything in a short way. Okay, so you can say that the argument of the criticizers is not a valid one, and it is shared by only a minimal number of people. So the authority of the Indian Constitution is with the people of India. That's all. Conclusion is nothing but rephrasing of your entire body in 3 lines. That's all. Okay. So can anyone repeat the steps alone? Okay. When a question is there, how to address the question in mains examination? Can anybody repeat the steps alone? I don't want the answer. I want the structure. First, what you have to do? Anybody? Yes.
So can
Even
I
if you're
tell
wrong,
it?
yeah, please.
Sir, so this is Vimal, sir. Can I try it, or
Yeah, please,
can I
Vimal.
give it to the other participants? Yes,
Please,
sir.
Vimal.
First is during the first section, we should talk about the criticisms, minor criticisms, and
No.
we should introduce.
No, that is second. That is second. First point is
Introduction about what is authority that we need to give, sir.
yes. First is take the keywords and write the
What is
introduction.
authority?
Okay.
Introduction.
And
What
then
is authority? Minor criticisms against the opinion, and we
or
should take a
context.
stand.
Exact word uses context of the question. Second is context of the question. Yes. Then third.
And third, we should introduce our stand.
Okay, we should write our
And
stand. Third.
Then fourth is we should substantiate the points to our opinion or our stand.
Okay.
And fifth, we should give a conclusion.
Okay. Good, Vimal. Good. That is the structure. Okay. So first definition of keywords. Second, context of the question. Then stand on the question. Substantiation of the question and conclusion part. So this is the 5 ways you have to address the mains question. It is applicable for optional also. Now, where will you write the examples in all these points? No, examples has to be written where? Yes, Vimal. Try. This is out. Spontaneous question. Yes.
Examples, sir. We can take about other countries where there are revolts against the constitution, and we can match it up with to substantiate our points.
My question was where, which part you will add the examples. The examples has to be added in substantial. When you are substantiating your stand, that area
Yes,
you have examples. The examples is your individuality. Okay, so we need not discuss on that.
Yes,
that is individuality. Each one will have a different idea that you can. Okay, relevant examples you can give. Good. Thank you very much, Vimal. And
thank you.
Supriyo as well. Both of you, thank you very much. Yes, Adarsh, do you want to talk? Yes. Please enable Adarsh. No? Adarsh, have you clicked the hand raise button? The hand raise button is in the bottom. Murli, enna idhu? Paranga. Wait, Adarsh, we are checking.
Yes, sir. Sir, so far we saw the positive aspects, positive substantiation. But what about, can we address this question in a negative standpoint? The rising need for more reservation and the CAA protest. So these are all based on the preamble and the constitution, which are like they're saying it's a pretty outdated or it's against constitution. So can we address the question in that point of view?
Yes. Now, it's a very relevant question that Adarsh have asked. Adarsh is asking, sir, can we go the other way? Can we say that, 70 years has gone? Okay, so now shouldn't we revisit the entire constitution to update it? And there is another argument also, hundreds of amendments, okay, and still going on. So social protests are there. So should we think of rewriting the constitution? So can we say that, source of authority of the constitution is not with people of India because times have changed, ideas have changed. People's thinking all also have changed. Okay, if you see the last 1 decade, 10 years, the narratives have changed. People they think about governance have changed. So can we go for a change? Can we write like that? Okay, it's a good question. But this is how, you are not a journalist. You're not writing an article in newspaper to give your opinion as you wish. The thumb rule in UPSC is when you are writing, you must be aware that you are being selected to be a civil servant. What is the function of civil servant? To implement the constitution. So when you have to implement the constitution, they will choose candidates who are believing in the provisions of the constitution, the existing constitution. Okay, of course, you can say some provisions of the constitution should be changed. Okay, that leverage is there. Okay, but entirely saying that constitution does not have the source of authority, which has been followed for 70 years, will be like showing you as a critical person, highly critical person. Okay. Now, bureaucrat has to be a conformist, a real conformist. Now, you should not be very ideal. Okay. Practically a conformist. Okay. Who goes along with the stream and work. Okay. So, when settled questions are there in Indian polity, like when many have accepted that source of authority is with the Constitution of India, settle with that. Give a optimistic answer always. Okay.
Can we criticize it, or should we just
if
neglect
you are
that criticism?
if you are adding the critical points, 2-3 points you can add, but overwhelm that point. You should counter that point also. Okay. You can say that there are some protests and other things, and recently some people are asking for change in the constitution, and you conclude that however the existing constitution have ensured the unity of this country for longer time. Maybe there may be small changes in the constitution, but complete overhaul may not work for the country. Okay. Or you may say that it should be considered by a expert committee. Like that. Okay. Don't go
Keep it
against
open-ended.
established standard. See, when you come into UPSC, all the aspirants, you will want to change the society. All of you will think that, that I become an IAS officer, I will change the world upside down. Okay. Remember, you can play a role, but you cannot do it entirely. Point one. Second is, you could do it along with other people only. Okay. So when the society has accepted a standard and it has worked well, go with it. Okay. The hypercritical role is done by activists and journalists. That is not role of bureaucrat. Okay. A bureaucrat is going to safeguard the constitution. So mostly you will have to defend the constitution. Just imagine you are a IFS officer and you are posted to represent India in USA. Some of your friend who's a diplomat from USA is coming and criticizing, telling that when corona is there, you are building temple. When you don't have money for purchasing PPE kits, and vaccine, we have a big expenditure in the coming months. If this Oxford vaccine is clearing the third trial, they say that estimate at least we have to manufacture 30 crore vaccines. And if you imagine one vaccine, they say on an average it may cost up to 1,000 rupees. So imagine how much money we require. Okay. So supposing they are criticizing like that, your opinion also may be the same, but you have to defend the action of the Indian government.
Okay.
Got it?
Thank you.
Right. So the
Yes.
constitution, whenever they are asked, always write positively, mostly as a conformist, confirming with the existing thing. Okay. Small corrections you can say, small, within the scope, within the entire constitution, see these areas can be changed. Radical change and all, okay, please never write it in the paper, they will not agree. Okay. Because they need people who work along with others, other political shades also. Right? We will learn this. There are questions like when we come to secularism, republic and all, I'll put you same critical questions and I'll tell you how to answer like a bureaucrat rather than a journalist or a activist. Okay, fine. Clear. So the first part of the preamble is over. Any doubts? Okay. So some of you may think that we are taking a lot of time. Don't worry. Okay. First things first, when you learn all these basic techniques and all, when you do answer writing practice and all, you can follow the same thing and your preparation will be holistic. So that is why we are putting a lot of effort. Okay, fine. So source of authority is people of India. Done. First point is over. The second point of the preamble, it talks about nature of Indian polity. Nature of Indian polity. Okay, nature of Indian polity. What is the nature? Nature means, I told you polity is the way we govern ourselves, right? Through various mechanisms, institutions, other things, the way we govern ourselves and make public decisions. Polity is making public decisions to govern ourselves. Now, nature of Indian polity means a country can choose any system. India has chosen democracy. Okay, some countries, have chosen monarchy, still continuing with monarchy. For example, today's international page, Spain, when most of the Western countries have become democratic, now Spain, the king, still retains most of the powers. Okay, so they have a monarchical system. Some people may choose socialism, communist model, China. Okay, communist model. Some countries may choose religious leaders to solve their problems. Okay, for example, you take Iran. The supreme head of Iran is a religious head. Okay, he's a religious person. Okay, he's a cleric. Okay, he only decides the important strategies for Iran. So a country may choose any system. Okay, any system. So in preamble, what we are saying is, what is the system we have chosen? What kind of polity we have chosen? Okay, so that is what we tell it in the preamble. That is what we call it as nature of the Indian polity. So what is the nature of Indian polity? The nature of Indian polity is, it is sovereign, 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 socialist, secular, okay, democratic, republic. Sovereign, socialist, democratic, republic. Okay, so 5 points: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. This is the nature of Indian polity. We have chose to take public decisions in this manner. Okay, we are going to set up an Indian polity. The entire constitution is going to be guided by these principles. Okay, this would be the nature. Okay. The third part of the Indian polity is objectives. Remember, after telling this, I will explain one by one. Each of these concepts I will explain. Prelims, mains question will be discussed. So wait for it. Now let us see what is the objectives. Objectives means goals of our country. Where are we heading to? What is the aim of our country? Okay, our aim of the country is to ensure liberty to all its citizens. Okay, that is the objective. All citizens should be free. Equality, fraternity, justice, unity, integrity, unity, okay, and integrity, and dignity of the individual. Keywords, these are the keywords in the preamble. The purpose of forming a country and a constitution and all these things is to achieve these things for our people. Okay, liberty, equality, fraternity, justice, integrity, unity and integrity, and dignity of the individual. Okay, unity and integrity and dignity of the individual. Okay, fine, good. Any doubts in this? No. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. You know what is nature, what is objective. Okay. See, in mains examination, they purposefully ask. One time they asked this question. Okay. So discuss the relevance of adjectives. Adjectives. They use the word adjectives in Indian preamble. Adjective means what? Adjective is something which talks about the nature of a verb, right? An action. So when they use the word adjective in the preamble, it means nature. What is the nature of? So okay, so most of the candidates, what they did is they wrote everything. But that question is, you have to write about only these 5 concepts. That is enough. That is the demand of the question. Many people wasted time in writing for all. So what happened? It is a 15 marker. Sorry, it's a 10 marker. They have answered only half a page for this part. This part should have been the entire 150 words, but they have written only 75 words for that. This part, they will not give any marks. Okay, because the question is not about this part. You will end up getting only small half a mark. Already they'll put only 50% marks, so you will end up getting only 2.5 out of 10. But if you have understood the question and you would have just expanded what you have written, extra examples, instead of 2.5, you would have written 5, you would have got 10, 5 marks. Okay. So in UPSC examination, relevance is very important. That is why I train you to minimize your words and to stick to the question. Don't jump out of the question. Okay. In UPSC, it's not about dumping knowledge into the paper. It is about answering relevantly. Your points may be very simple, but you have to answer to the point. Okay, answer to the question that has been asked. Okay, what is sovereignty? India is a sovereign country. Very simple. Before 1947, we were not sovereign. Our decision making process, our polity, our decision making was managed by British. But after 1947, we are independent in making our decisions. So sovereignty means no more foreign influence. Sovereign is externally independent. Independent in what? Independent in decision making process. In running our country, in running our polity, we are independent. Okay, in running our polity, we are independent. Okay, externally independent. And then internally supreme. Okay, externally independent and then internally supreme. Okay, I'll explain this. Okay. When you say externally supreme, you cannot influence the government in its decision making process, whether it is UK, America, whichever country it is. Okay, they cannot influence the decision. Okay, see, we are there. There is a criticism that we are having too good relationship with US, neglecting other countries. Remember, when we had a choice to buy the fighters, we went with France and brought the Rafale. Okay, Rafale fighters were brought from France, not for USA. USA has similar fighter aircraft, F-18s and F-22s. Okay, so we are not going for that. We have bought the Rafale one. Okay, we had a choice. Now at the same time, we are also purchasing weapons from Russia. You must know S-400 missiles. Okay, current, I'm talking about now. Okay, so we are also parallelly negotiating with Russia to get the weapons. So we are independent, nobody can force us. We can choose what we want. So sovereignty is independence in our decision making process, no external influence. And when talking about the concept of sovereign, okay, we have to know what is a state. Okay, state involves land, and it have people, it should have government, and it should have sovereignty. Then only it can be called as a state, country. In international level, the definition of United Nations is that, okay, a country can be recognized in the international arena as one which is having land, territory, people, government, and sovereignty. If you don't have a designated territory, you just have your, for example, the ethnic groups, okay, ethnic groups. Okay. Of Tamil, ethnic groups of Tamil, you cannot call them as a country because they don't have a designated territory. Likewise, Tibet people, you cannot recognize as a country because they don't have a designated territory. Palestine is not a country because they don't have a designated territory. They are under the control of Israel. Sometimes you may have land, people, and government. For example, state of Karnataka, land is there, people is there, government is there, but sovereignty is with the union government. State governments does not have sovereignty. Okay, so you cannot call that entity as a country. We will be calling it as a province in India, a state under the country of India. So to differentiate between state as a country, state as subpart of the country, when writing, capital S denotes the state which is equals to country. When you write capital S TATE, it is a country. Small s when you are using, it is denoting state of Kerala, state of Karnataka, state of Tamil Nadu, like that. Okay. So now, who is having the sovereignty? State is having the sovereignty. See, state is having the sovereignty. That is, state is externally independent in decision making process. But state is an idea. It is not a physical thing. Can you see the state? No. Okay. So among these things, land, people, government, who can exercise sovereignty on behalf of state? I'll repeat the question. Some of you should say, on behalf of the state, who can exercise sovereignty? Is somebody click on the hand raise button and answer me? முரளி யாராவது கிளிக் பண்றாங்க? யார் முரளி? Shruti, please speak.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
The government
Sir, am I
can
audible?
access the authority.
Very good. The government. Okay. The government on behalf of state can exercise sovereignty. When I say government here, in this definition alone, remember, for sovereignty, for understanding the concept of sovereignty, who exercise sovereignty? Government exercise sovereignty. Government means executive, legislature, and judiciary. Executive, legislature, and judiciary. All three.
Gee, in normal senses also, government means these three only, right?
Yes, your name, please. Your name, please.
Sorry, Pavitran.
Yeah, Pavitran. Yes, tell me, Pavitran.
In normal senses only, when we say government, government is these three only, right? Executive, judiciary, and the legislature. Will people, as common people, come under government? Are we a part of government?
That is philosophical question. Whether we are part of the government, people are not part of the government. For understanding polity, see, there is a problem in polity is the way people understand things. Now, for a common man, okay, when a newspaper and all, when they are using the term government, okay, it is executive. They are referring to the term executive. Okay, so in that case, government is different from legislature and the judiciary. Okay, so they'll say that okay, judiciary has referred the matter to union government. If judiciary is part of the government, can we say that it is referring a matter to itself? No. Okay, so newspaper, media, the term government is referring to the executive. So that is why here I'm saying, in case of understanding the concept of state, the concept of government means executive, legislature, and judiciary.
Okay, will president come in that term?
Yes, president is part of the union executive.
Okay.
So now that is why contextual understanding is very important in polity. Contextual understanding. Okay, same word will be used in multiple places. Okay, where when it is used in a particular place, we must try to understand the exact meaning. The word government, when we are talking in polity, especially to the concept of the state, okay, it includes the executive, legislature, and the judiciary also. But in other times, especially in case of normal people's parlance and in case of newspapers, government means union executive. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you from, Praveen?
From Palakkad, Kerala.
Sorry, Pavitran from Palakkad, Kerala. Okay.
Okay.
What is your major?
Major, I did engineering, mechanical engineering.
Where?
Kumaraguru College of Technology, Coimbatore.
Coimbatore. Okay, Coimbatore. Good.
Yeah.
Very good. Which is the pass out year? When did you pass out engineering?
2018 passed out.
Okay, Pavitran. Okay, fine. Yes. Now, why I'm saying state means executive, legislature, and judiciary, these three things, is because we are going to understand this externally independent. Executive is externally independent, meaning Prime Minister Modi and his Council of Ministers will take decision without any external influence, any foreign country influence. That is, he is exercising sovereignty. When Parliament is making law, will make law for India only, they will not be influenced by any other country, okay, any other external force. Okay, so the Parliament is sovereign. Judiciary is also sovereign, which means when delivering judgments, it will deliver judgment independently without any external force. No external force. Okay, they will do it independently. So when I say externally independent, it means the government is externally independent. It's exercising sovereignty. It is exercising sovereignty in terms of executive, legislature, judiciary, all three organs. Okay. And any doubts in this? Okay. What do you mean by internally supreme? Internally supreme means within the country, these three institutions are supreme. The Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers, the Parliament and the Supreme Court, they are supreme. No sub-institutions. For example, central government issues an order. State government says, I will not listen to. Then central government can dismiss the state government. So central government's decision cannot be overruled. So who's sovereign here? Central government. Judiciary is, issuing an order. Can a cultural organization come and say, how can judiciary come and say this? I will not obey the judiciary. Okay, in Tamil Nadu there is a politician, I don't want to give his name. Okay, he criticized, telling that High Court, the High Court may say something, I don't bother. Okay. Can that be done? No, that's affecting the sovereignty of the country. Sovereignty means when something is said by the court of law, it is final and it should be abided by the citizen. Now you may have a question, sir, if court's orders are final, why there is an appeal? See, court's order is final. Court's order is final. If you do not agree with the court's order, you can once again file a case in the court of law. But you don't, undermine the court's capability. Take the recent case, Prashant Bhushan case. Okay. What is happening is the court is initiating a contempt petition. Okay. Now Prashant Bhushan, okay, may say that no, I will not obey the court, I will go away. If he says like that, it is affecting the sovereignty. It is not agreeable. Okay. But at the same time, should he accept what all the court is saying? No. Legitimately in a democratic country, if you don't like the judgment, you can criticize the judgment. You don't like the judgment, you can appeal. But once again, you have to appeal to the same court. See, he has given a statement, Prashant Bhushan has given a statement and submitted the statement in the very court of law. The same Supreme Court which has initiated the contempt, he has also submitted the, which means what? Prashant Bhushan personally is agreeing with the sovereignty of the court. He is not questioning the sovereignty of the Supreme Court. He is not questioning the authority of the court of law. He says that I trust it is the Supreme Court which has to give the final judgment. But a particular judgment I am not okay, so I am again filing a petition to the court, or I am criticizing the act of the Supreme Court. Okay. See, Ayodhya judgment is there. Okay. Ayodhya judgment given by the court of law. Now, if somebody comes and asks that, who is that Supreme Court to ask this question? Who is this Supreme Court to give a judgment on a religious matter? I do not agree this judgment because Supreme Court does not have the authority. I don't agree. If somebody says like that, it is attacking the sovereignty. You are not accepting the authority, it is attacking the sovereignty. But you are saying that a Supreme Court only should give final judgments. I respect the Supreme Court's decision, okay, or I respect the Supreme Court's ability or authority, capability to give the final judgment. But one judgment, that specific Ayodhya judgment, I am not okay with, so I'll file a appeal petition. And once again, what I'm saying, I'm just going back to the same court of law, which means I'm not questioning its authority. I'm just critical of its one decision. This is where you must differentiate. Prashant Bhushan has not affected the sovereignty of the court. That is what his argument is. What he's saying is, I'm not questioned your authority. I'm not saying you cannot take any decision. I'm saying that I'm differing in your particular act. A series of acts that you have done, in that case is, what you have done, it shows the other way. So I have criticized your decisions. I have not questioned your authority to make decisions. I am not asking you to step down from judiciary. I am not asking you that Supreme Court should never give decisions. I agree that Supreme Court only should give decisions. Okay, so I am respecting the sovereignty. Are you able to understand? And I will give one more example. If there is a person, okay, say Prime Minister Modi takes a decision. Now a person is not okay with this decision. He's protesting, saying that I'm disagreeing with Prime Minister saying new education policy. Some are criticizing the new education policy. Can we call that is affecting the sovereignty? No, it is not sovereignty, because who has to create the policy? Central government. No doubt in it. Okay, only when you question on that, you are attacking sovereignty. If you are not okay with particular decision, you can give your opinion. That is democracy. Democracy is where all of them can share our opinions, even criticize the government. When it is attacking the sovereignty, when you ask, for example, some separatists in Jammu and Kashmir, no? They are asking who's Prime Minister Modi to take decisions for Jammu and Kashmir. They are attacking the sovereignty because they are questioning the very authority of the Prime Minister to take decision. Naxalites are there. They are asking who are the governments in central Delhi and in state capitals to take decision for tribal people. They are attacking the sovereignty because they are not talking about specific decisions. They are not at all okay with the power being exercised by the union government. So they are affecting the sovereignty of the state. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? This is what we call as internally supreme. Okay, internally supreme means the executive, legislative, judiciary is in the topmost. No other smaller authority can question the authority of them. Okay, so the decisions made by these institutions are final and abiding on the citizens of this country. So any separatist act, any terrorist act, any insurgency, Naxals, Jammu and Kashmir issue, Northeast issue and all, we will call it as attack on sovereignty of India because they are questioning the supremeness of executive, legislature and judiciary in India. Understood? So sovereignty is externally independent and internally supreme. Any doubts so far? Okay, so we will wind up today here. Okay, meet up in the next class. Any doubts? Any doubts?
Ji,
Yes, Pavitran.
Ji, you said that if the authority of the Supreme Court is questioned, then it is attack on the sovereignty of the court. In the recent Madhya Pradesh political issue, the speaker asked the authority of the court that what right do you have in case of the defection? Why are you taking that case like that? Then the speaker is acting.
That is because there is a law which states that court cannot, involve in the speaker's decision. Okay, so in that particular decision, they are asking whether you have jurisdiction or not. If the same speaker comes and say whatever order comes from the Supreme Court, I will not obey. I don't agree with Supreme Court. They don't have any jurisdiction. That is attack on sovereignty. If based on parliament law or constitution, the speaker is referring to a rule and saying that this particular rule says that you should not be interfering in this, you can. And one more thing, there is equality between executive, legislature and judiciary, right? So speaker's office is one of the office in the legislature, so they are negotiating with the judiciary. That cannot be called as attack on sovereignty. When an ordinary citizen out of the government, he is questioning, that is attack on sovereignty. Internal institutions, they can exchange ideas. Democracy is not only negotiating between us, one citizens, it is also negotiation between institutions, executive, legislature and judiciary. So what speaker has said is a legitimate discussion with the judiciary. Acceptable.
Okay, understood. Ji, I have one last question. This one is a personal one. Like you were talking about the example of the Ram Mandir. What will you do if an IFS officer, as an IFS officer, will be questioned by a counterpart in US? So what will be your answer in that case if they're asking such a question to you?
No. Yes.
Why Ram Mandir in such a scenario when we have this corona issues? What will you say?
Okay. So now, as a nation, we have to progress in all things. And since Ayodhya issue has been a political hot potato, meaning it has been a sensitive issue which were creating divisions between the two major communities of the country, and this construction of Ram temple and this judgment, if it is going to create a amicable solution, it actually instills permanent peace in the society, which is also equally important as the prevention of corona disease. That would be my answer.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know.
Yes. So remember, you are a bureaucrat. Already you are a bureaucrat. From now, start answering like this too, even the questions put by your friends. That will become a habit, reflect in your mains examination, interview, you will be able to clear the examination. Okay, you must know to delineate between your personal opinion and your action as a bureaucrat. Okay, tomorrow remind me, actually continuation to this question, I will discuss what is ethics and morality. Okay, you will get a better picture of what I'm saying. Okay, so we will do that in the next class. You remind me, Pavitran, with the beginning of the next class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Yes, next.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Next.
Sir.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I am Shruti from Kerala. So I have a doubt. So you told in state the government is supreme.
and so it consists of the executive, judiciary, and the government. But sir, we can see that in suppose a state legislature or a union legislature is passing a law, and the Supreme Court can take action on this if it's against Constitution. So
Yeah.
should we say that everybody is supreme within their purview, or how will we say that sovereignty?
Yes. In case of sovereignty, okay, when we use the word state, it denotes the union government, executive, union legislature. States will not come. When it comes to state, we use the word autonomy, not sovereignty. Both sovereignty and autonomy is independent functioning. But when you use the word sovereignty, we relate it only to the entire country. Because the word sovereignty comes because once many countries were under the control of other governments, the concept of sovereignty means that they are independent from external control. So in that context, you have to understand when we speak about sovereignty, state means state, country. Okay. Let us not bring in the state legislature or state government. State legislature and governments has autonomy. Got it?
Okay, so sir, in that context, we have to consider all these elements as one entity, right? Judiciary.
When I say judiciary, Supreme Court. In case of sovereignty, Supreme Court exercise sovereignty because High Court orders can be questioned by Supreme Court. But Supreme Court order cannot be questioned by High Court. So who's sovereign then? Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is internally supreme, not the High Court. When Parliament is creating law, state legislature is creating a law, if there is a conflict, Parliament law will prevail because Parliament is supreme, internally supreme. State legislative assembly is not supreme, it is autonomy only. When it comes to executive, union government and state government, union government is more powerful than the state government. Union government is sovereign, internally supreme, not the state government. Got the clarification? Shruti,
Yes,
are
sir.
you there?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, Shruti. Then anybody else? Okay, the unique ID which ends in 06. Zero 06. Your name is not being displayed. You are enabled, please speak. Tell me the last three numbers, Murli. 399. People, if you want
Good afternoon, sir.
399, yes.
Sir, my doubt is regarding the previous you said, sir, the mains question you were talking about source of authority.
Yes.
Sir, in that, apart from representatives, the interest, because during the pre-colonial times, we were being huge sufferers of colonialism. So the various movements' aims were being embodied in the constitution. So could that be taken as a source of power, sir? Could that be taken as people's representation, sir?
Yeah, you can put it this way. The freedom struggle is a reflection of a mass movement. Okay, and whatever they were demanding to the British government, that was incorporated into the constitution. Okay, so we can say the source of authority is with people of India. Yes, that point could be added. Good. What is your name?
Srivatsan, sir.
Sorry?
Srivatsan, sir.
Srivatsan. Okay, good. Thank you, Srivatsan. That point can be added, Srivatsan.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Is there any other doubts? 873.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Hridaya.
Hridaya.
Yep, sir.
From?
From Chennai, sir.
Chennai, okay. Yeah, please continue. What's your question?
So you said about the books to be read. What about political theory? The book named Political Theory.
Really sorry. Could you be more louder?
So you said the books to be read for polity, sir. So what about the book named Political Theory? Should we read that?
No need to read. No, that is what I said. No need to read political theory. If you are choosing political science option, then you can read. Otherwise, no.
Okay, sir. So can you please repeat how should we go with the Lakshmikant book from preamble to president? What is the chronological order for that?
Yeah, for preamble, is the fourth unit. After that, you have to go
Okay.
for the third unit, and then go for the 5th, 6th, 7th till president. Okay.
And
Only
this
thing
is
is
regarding the current.
after preamble, you have to go for salient features of Indian Constitution, which is the third unit. Then go for the 5th unit in the chronological order.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. I got it. So then, this question is regarding current affairs. So we studied that there is division of power in our constitution. So where the legislature is accountable to the people and executive, they're accountable to the legislature. Then what the judiciary, sir? They're accountable to whom?
Okay, that's a very relevant question. Okay, that is what you cannot keep people accountable. There is some institution, which has to be the last. Okay, if you say you are creating some other institution to keep check on judiciary, once again the question will rise: who's going to be keeping a check on that institution? Okay.
Yeah,
So
it goes indefinitely, yes.
at one level, at one level it has to stop. However, even in judiciary we can create accountability, okay, by ensuring the process is transparent, okay, setting the rules and procedures, okay, internal regulation, okay, so those things can be done. In fact, we tried by an act called as Judicial Accountability and Standards Bill. Okay, Judicial Accountability and Standards Bill. It never became a law. Okay, that has various provisions which talks about how to make judiciary accountable. Now, judiciary is not accountable, as you said. I agree. Okay, now to make judiciary accountable, what steps should be taken? The provisions were there in the bill. The bill did not pass. It did not come to light. However, when we come to judiciary chapter, I'll discuss on that. It's a mains question. Okay, how to make judiciary accountable.
Because this one, I think I was enlightened by because recently the Suprashant Doshi had a case with the court, contempt plea. Under Article 149-15, the court said that motive recognition, it said that scandalizing the court. So that led me to ponder upon these questions. That's why I asked.
Yeah, we'll discuss that. Okay, the contempt proceedings as well as accountability of judiciary. In judiciary chapter, I will discuss it. Okay, I'll tell the question. We will explain as well as structure the question. That will happen. Okay.
Okay, sir. So sir, when will you have a demo class on PSI options?
As I informally discussed with the management, they said 1 week before the optional class is starting. So it will be probably after the Independence Day, August 15th. The August 28th, they have fixed date for start of the options. So it should be post August 15th.
Okay.
We will be colonized by option after Independence Day.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hope we get feeling for that very soon.
Thank you. Sure. Yes, anybody else?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Shiva.
Sir, in a state, government is a sovereign body, sir.
State as a country, yes, state is sovereign. So since state cannot exercise sovereignty, on behalf of state, government will exercise sovereignty.
Yes, sir, but government is controlled by the constitution only, sir. So constitutions may be the sovereign we take.
Once again, constitution is a document. Constitution is a document. Can I answer in Tamil?
சொல்லுங்க sir.
Constitution ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட். இது கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் வந்து யாராவது ஒருத்தர் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணி ஆகணும். கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் தன்னைத்தானவே இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணிக்க முடியாது இல்லையா? ஸோ ஸ்டேட் சாவரன் சொல்கிறோம், கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் சுப்ரீம் டாக்குமெண்ட்னு சொல்கிறோம். ஆமாம், அதுபடி தான் எல்லாமே நடந்தாகணும். பட்டு இது செயல்படுத்துறது யார் அப்படின் போது எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ், லெஜிஸ்லேச்சர், ஜுடிஷியரி, சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டு, பிரைம் மினிஸ்டரும் பார்லிமெண்ட்டும். அதனால தான் அவங்கக்கிட்ட சாவரனிட்டி இருக்குன்னு சொல்கிறோம். ரியல் டைமில் ஒரு இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், அவங்க தான் ஒரு நிறுவனம், அவங்களால தான் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண முடியும்.
ஓகே சார்.
நீங்க
சார்
கான்ஸ்டியூஷன்
அப்புறம் பாலிசி சொல்லுங்க சார்.
கான்ஸ்டியூஷன் தான் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா அது வந்து பை புக் ஓகேவா இருக்கும். பட் ரியல் டைம்ல ஹூஸ் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள்னு போது ஒரு கொஸ்டின் வரும். அதனால தான் அவங்களுக்கு பதிலாக கான்ஸ்டியூஷனுக்கும் ஸ்டேட்டுக்கும் பதிலாக இவங்க பவர்ஸ் எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க கவர்மெண்ட். ஸோ ஃபார் அதர்ஸ் நோ some others in connection, constitution is a document. It cannot work by itself, somebody has to work on it. So the concept of sovereignty also, even though state is having it, on behalf of state, government will exercise it. The powers that is listed in the constitution, and the constitution is also made to work by the executive, legislation and judiciary. Done.
ஓகே சார். சார் அப்புறம் பாலிசிக்கும் பில்லுக்கும் என்ன வித்தியாசம் சார்? இப்போ இந்த நேஷனல் எஜுகேஷன் பில்லுன்னு சொல்லலாம் சார் இதை?
இல்ல, ஏன்னா பாலிசின்றது ஒரு டைரக்ஷன். முன்னாடி நம்ம பார்த்த மாதிரி இட்ஸ் செட் ஆஃப் டைரக்ஷன். கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து எந்த டைரக்ஷன்ல போகுது. இப்போ என்னன்னா நேஷனல் எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசியில் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஒரு விஷயம் வந்து ஒரே ரெகுலேட்டரி பாடி வேணும் அப்படின்னு பேசியிருக்காங்க. எல்லா ஹையர் எஜுகேஷன் இன்ஸ்டியூட், மெடிக்கலில், இன்ஜினியரிங்கு, ஆர்ட்ஸ் எல்லாத்துக்கும் சேர்த்து ஒரு ரெகுலேட்டரி பாடி ஒன்றா சேர்க்கலாம் அப்படின்றது ஒரு ஐடியா. டீட்டெயில்டாக சொல்லாமல் இப்படி சேர்த்தா நல்லாயிருக்கும், அது ஏன் சேர்க்கணும் அப்படின்னா கொஞ்சம் எஃபிஷியண்ட்டாக ஒர்க் செய்வாங்கன்னு நம்ம ஓவரால் ஐடியாவை சொல்கிறது. ஒரு பாலிசினா நாங்கள் இப்படி தான் செயல்படுத்த போகிறோன்னு அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி, பாலிசியை பேஸ் பண்ணி பில் கொண்டு வராங்க. டீட்டெயில்டாக அந்த இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷனோட பவர் என்ன, ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் என்ன, அதுக்கு எப்படி ஃபண்ட் பண்ண போகிறாங்க, என்னென்ன ஆஃபீஸ் இருக்க போகுதுன்னு, அது வந்து பில். ஸோ பில் வந்து ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் டெசிஷன், பாலிசி வந்து ஜென்ரல் டெசிஷன். பாலிசி வந்து ஓவராலாக டிசைட் பண்ணுறது பாலிசி, ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக பண்ணுறது வந்து பில்லு. இப்போ இன்னொரு விஷயம் சொல்லுங்க, கேளுங்க.
பில்லையே டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி சொல்றது பாலிசியா சார்? பில்லுல இந்த இதெல்லாம் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு காட்டுறது பாலிசி.
இப்படியெல்லாம் பில் வரலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற ஓவரால் ஐடியா பேர் பாலிசி. சப்போஸ் நீங்க வந்து ஒரு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் மேக் பண்ணணும்னு யோசிக்கிறீங்க, ஓகேங்களா? இப்போ யூபிஎஸ்சி ப்ரிப்பரேஷனில் வந்தோடனே ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப், அப்போ வந்து நீங்கள் என்ன பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா, ஓகே எனக்கு ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் வேணும்னு டிசைட் பண்ணுறீங்க. அந்த ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸை டிசைட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு சில க்ரைட்டீரியா ஃபஸ்ட் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவீங்க. என்ன, யூபிஎஸ்சி படிக்கிறவனா இருக்கணும், இன்னும் 2 வருஷத்துக்கு, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூட் இருக்கணும், முக்கியமாக வந்து யூபிஎஸ்சி ஆஸ்பிரண்ட்னா பாய் ஃப்ரெண்டோ கேர்ள் ஃப்ரெண்டாக இருக்கக்கூடாது. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரிலாம் வந்து நீங்கள் ஒரு சில ஜென்ரல் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ், இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்களே சித்திட்ருக்கீங்க, ஓகே, ஒரு ஜென்ரலாக ஒரு பாலிசி வந்து ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணிடுவீங்க. கேட்டால் உங்கள் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் கேட்டால் என்ன சொல்லுங்கள், இதுதான் என் பாலிசி, இதுக்கு உட்பட்டு தான் நான் எல்லா டெசிஷனும் எடுப்பேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு பர்சன் ஏவை மீட் பண்ணுறீங்க, அந்த பர்சன் ஏ கூட நீங்கள் வந்து ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் கிரியேட் பண்ணுறீங்க, அது லா பில், ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் டெசிஷன். பட் அந்த ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்காக இந்த பர்சன் தான் ஃப்ரெண்டாக இருக்கணும்னு நீங்கள் டிசைட் பண்ணுறீங்க இல்லையா, அதுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஜென்ரல் ஐடியா ஆல்ரெடி நீங்கள் பேக்ராப்பில் வச்சுருப்பீங்க. ஸோ அந்த பேக்ராப் ஐடியாவில் வந்து ஒரு பர்சன் ஃபிட் ஆகலைன்னா இமீடியட்டாகவே நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் போக மாட்டீங்க, அவங்கள வந்து டிஸ்கார்ட், ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப் வந்து மேக் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க. கரெக்டுங்களா?
புரியுது.
அதே மாதிரி தான் பாலிசியும் லாவும். பாலிசின்றது லார்ஜர் டெசிஷன்ஸ், ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் டெசிஷன்ஸ் கிடையாது, லார்ஜர் டெசிஷன்ஸ். இந்த பாத்தில் தான் போவோம், ப்ரைவேட்டைஸ் பண்ணுவோம், நம்ம வந்து 6% லெவல் ஜிடிபி வந்து நம்ம இதுக்கு எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசிக்கு, எஜுகேஷனுக்கு ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுவோம். அது எப்படி ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுவோம், ஆக்சுவலாக டெசிஷன் எடுப்பாங்க இல்லையா, அதெல்லாம் லா மூலியமாக கொண்டு வருவாங்க, பில்லாக கொண்டு வந்து பாஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. அது ஸ்கூல்ஸ் கட்டியா, இல்லை ரெசிடென்ஷியல் பிளேசஸ் கட்டியா, இல்லை லைப்ரரிஸ் கட்டி போகிறாங்களா இந்த எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சரு, இல்லை ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்பை கொடுக்க போகிறாங்களா, இது எல்லாமே வந்து பட்ஜெட்டாக பில்லாக வந்து வரும். பட் ஓவராலாக என்னென்னா 100 ரூபா உற்பத்தி இருந்துச்சு நாட்டில், 100 ரூபா அளவு வந்து பொருளாதாரத்தை வந்து நம்ம உற்பத்தி செஞ்சோன்னா அதில் 6% வந்து என்ன பண்ண போகிறோம் அப்படின்னா கல்விக்காக ஒதுக்க போகிறோம் அப்படின்னு ஓவரால் டெசிஷன் எடுத்துடுறாங்க. அது பாலிசி. ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் டெசிஷன் என்னவா ஆக்சுவலாக பண்ண போகிறாங்க, எந்த வகையில் பண்ண போகிறாங்கன்றத பில்லில் பண்ணுவாங்க.
ஓகே சார். சார் அப்புறம் ரெஃபரண்டத்துக்கும் பிளெபிசைடுக்கும் என்ன சார் வித்தியாசம்?
அது வரேன் நம்ம டெமோக்ரஸி பேசும்போது இந்த கொஸ்டின் கேளுங்க, ஞாபகமாக கேளுங்க, நான் அப்போ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுறேன். இன்னும் ரெலவெண்ட்டாக இருக்கும், கிளாஸில் மற்றவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கும்.
ஓகே சார், தேங்க்யூ சார்.
தேங்க்யூ.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes, what is your name? Ask your doubt.
Sir, my name is Venkat. Sir, my doubt is, as today marks the year of first anniversary of abolition of Article 370. My doubt is that constitutional, sir?
If judiciary has said, wait for what judiciary is saying. In my view, my opinion, it is unconstitutional. Let's wait for what judiciary is saying.
Yes, sir. My view, yes, sir. My view too is that it is unconstitutional because the representatives of people should abolish it. They haven't. So how could it be? How could the bifurcation happen, sir?
See, the government has to act according to constitution. If they are acting against, the remedy is with judiciary. But judiciary may spontaneously give the judgment or delay it. Until judiciary is giving the judgment, we have to keep waiting, keep knocking the doors of the judiciary. Can't help. Okay, so this is a loophole that is used by the present government to expedite matters in Jammu and Kashmir. I would say it is a tactical idea. It is a tactics that's played by the present government.
Okay, sir. So while writing mains, what?
We will have to wait for the court's judgment.
Okay, sir. Sir, while writing the answer in mains, what should I take, sir?
No, first, when we have to stick with the question they're asking. Okay, they can ask about the constitutionality of abolition of 370. So what you have to do is argue both sides. So your point will be there. The opposite point also will be there. Now, what they're saying is, the amendment can be done by the executive. Okay, and immediately it can be scrapped because we are changing the meaning and all. Okay, so those technical arguments given by the government can be done, and you overwhelm the points and give a conclusion. If you are strongly believing something is unconstitutional, give your points, the government side points, and then overwhelm the point, undermine that point, and give your conclusion.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next, Murli. 955. Yes.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Yes, I'm Vignesh.
Yeah, Vignesh.
Sir, yes, sir. I have a doubt regarding the sovereignty of states, sir. Because sir, you told that center has authority, complete authority over the states, but there is a concept called the state list, union list, concurrent list, no, sir. So in state list, states can implement the laws on their own, no, sir. So can I say the union government has not complete authority over states?
Yeah, you can use that word, complete authority. In certain cases, central government has authority over state. In certain cases, they don't have. So the statement that central government does not have a complete authority on the state government is correct.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have another doubt is you said about the capital yes, state. So state means country, no, sir?
Yes.
That okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. That's my doubt.
948.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I'm Revati.
Yes, Revati.
So, Sam, I'm new to all these concepts. I just want to confirm whether my interruption from the what I absorbed from your class is right or not. Can I, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, you told about the sovereignty, and it has it is actually the external independent and the internal internally supreme. Is it so, sir?
Yes.
And this external independence is that without means it depends upon the means external independence means it all lay on the government. Is it, sir? Government of
Yes,
India.
yes.
And in that sense, the state is autonomous because it works under the union government.
Yes.
And the government of India, the branches are executive, legislature, and judiciary, and all these three branches work without any external interpretation, which means that there is no the invasion of foreign country. Is it so, sir?
Right, absolutely right.
Um, and and also what about and also, sir, this external interpretation, it's all together we are telling, not separately the judiciary, legislative, and the executive.
See,
What I meant is that sir,
independent only. Okay, it when I say government, all three: executive, legislature, judiciary, all three.
okay, so in that sense we should not divide, like check and balance should not be the concept that we are using there. Is it so, sir? Just the foreign country invasion, in that sense we have to
Yeah,
think.
in that sense only you should understand. That is why I told you the context. Earlier we were a colony. We did not have sovereignty. So when we are establishing the constitution, we are declaring to the world we are sovereign, which means hereafter the decisions taken by our judiciary, executive, and legislature will be independent of any foreign influence.
Okay, okay, sir. Then second portion is internal supreme, which means that we have to protect the it's to safeguard the authority of the executive, legislative, and judiciary. Is it so, sir?
Come again.
So internal supreme, what I understood is we have to protect or safeguard the authority of executive, legislature, and judiciary for the proper running of the country. Is it so, sir?
Yes.
Okay. To protect it from the other what you told, like insurgency group and terrorist and all.
Right, you're right.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir. So this is what I got from the class.
Simple.
But
That is what sovereignty is. Independence in our decision making. No more British or any, for that matter, any other country can come and this. We will decide for ourselves. I'll give you one simple example. Supposing you are having a internal fight in your family, okay, between you and some of your close relative. Only one neighbor is coming inside and saying that, you should behave like this, you should behave like this. What you did is wrong, what he did is right. What you both will say, will come and say, what is your business? Why are you coming and interfering? It is none of your business. We will deal by ourselves. That spirit is what has sovereignty. For a country, when a country says, whatever problem, BJP or Congress, okay, Muslim or Hindu, whatever, we will have our conflict ourselves. You don't come in. You don't have any business inside India. That is sovereignty. And within India, okay, whatever conflicts is there, who will decide finally? Executive, legislature, judiciary. That is also sovereignty. Okay, so you will say, yeah, in my family, whatever fight is there, my father and mother is the final authority. Whatever they say final, we will agree. Like that, if you say your entire family is sovereign to take decision without influence of the neighbor, and within family, your father and mother is sovereign.
Okay, sir.
That's all. That is what we have to explain in terms of a country. That's all. Sovereignty is independence in making process.
So in bilaterals, sir told, Govind sir told a statement like this: to be a country to be a sovereign, the neighboring should accept. I got a statement like that. So I have to. I'm asking you, what is the deeper meaning of that? What is meant by that?
It is a set of countries. Set of countries should accept that there is a sovereignty. I told no, land, people, and we have sovereignty. Land, people, territory, and sovereignty. Okay, simply say Tibetan people coming and telling, see, we cannot say that it is a country because so sovereignty should be recognized. Okay, so simple. The same family example I'll give. Okay, we are fighting. Okay, and are having a conflict. This fellow, the next door fellow, okay, is coming and trying to solve the problem. As the entire family, you will say that you don't interfere. But now within your family, you've already got you have a conflict. You don't want to speak with your father and mother. You are acting independently, and some issues coming in the road. So now you have to speak to the neighbor. Okay, you are going to the neighbor and saying that okay, my compound this problem. There is a common problem we have to solve. At that time, your neighbor should first accept you as the representative of your family, right? Your neighbor will say that I will talk only to your father and mother, which means they are accepting the internal supremeness of whom? The father and mother only. So in this case, sovereignty is established by at least some set of countries, group of countries should agree with that first. In that sense, you would have told. So in case of Jammu and Kashmir and all, supposing Jammu and Kashmir goes to Pakistan and say, okay, telling that I am a separate country, please deal with me, or some other country say leave Pakistan, they will agree the thing. If supposing USA, Jammu and Kashmir is going and saying we are a separate country, please deal with us. Like US will say I don't agree, I will speak only to government in Delhi. So sovereignty is something is when recognized by other countries for a prolonged period of time. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Said, see, in polity, bilateral relations and all, don't worry if you don't understand fully.
Okay.
If maximum what is understood, fine, go ahead. Okay. Once you are covering the entire subject, you will get all the intricacies, in-depth meaning and all, you will clearly get it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You should think, but don't overthink. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
After 10 classes, you'll be so confident in polity. Don't worry.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Next. I think I can take last one question. I'm hungry. Yeah. Bhubesh.
Hello, sir.
Rubesh. Yes, Rubesh.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
You're audible. Please proceed, Rubesh.
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, since preamble is neither a source of power to legislature nor a prohibitor of the legislature, what gives its more legacy, sir?
No, since it is an introduction and it's a it sets overall idea. It is the tool key through which you can understand the constitution. That is where the significance of the preamble lies. Okay, it helps us to understand.
Then it should not be amended, no, sir.
Sorry.
Then it should not be amended, no, sir.
No,
if it is giving that much of importance.
Amendment means change. Sometimes, in order to explain a concept clearly, we can change the preamble. So amendment is not only deleting, it is adding also and extending or explaining a concept. So in that case, we have to allow for amendments as per my view.
Oh, okay, sir. So one more doubt. Giving some territories to the foreign countries in their favors is against the sovereignty, right? No, sir. So issues like Kachativu or some island issues in Bangladesh with Bangladesh.
I'll discuss them. I'll discuss them when we come to union and its territory. The specific issues related to Bangladesh and Kachativu Island, we'll be talking about it.
Okay, sir. One more last doubt, sir. Sir, is that concurrent list provides more upper hand to the union government? Then what is the important, sir. It is just an additional power given to union list.
Right, you're right.
Then it affects the federal system, no, sir. If the question comes, does the federal system is affected by the upper hand of the union government in the concurrent list, then how can I approach that question, sir?
Yes, federalism is affected, but it helps for the unity of the country, uniformity in the country. See, there are two concepts. We have to balance both. One is federalism, allowing the states to exercise autonomy. The other thing is unity. So whenever there is a conflict between the two, the Indian Constitution gives primacy for unity. Okay, so we can agree that it is affecting federalism, but however, for the uniformity and consistent functioning of the country, we can go by that provision.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
யாராவது இருக்காங்களா? Last, yes. 05. Three numbers.
Hello, sir.
056. Yes.
Sir, Arunidhi from Coimbatore, sir.
Okay. Yes, please. I'm
Sir,
sorry.
இப்போ EAA draft. Sir, EAA draft இருக்குல்ல சார்?
ஆமா. சொல்லுங்க.
சார் அந்த இப்போ அந்த டிராஃப்ட் வந்து இப்போ ஒப்பீனியனுக்காக பப்ளிக் ஒப்பீனியனுக்காக வச்சிருக்காங்க அப்படிதானே சார்? இப்போ நான் இதை வந்து இனிமேல் பார்லிமெண்ட்ல கொண்டு போய்
கேபினெட் அப்ரூவல் கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. கேபினெட் அப்ரூவல் கொடுத்துட்டாங்கன்னா பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் நரேந்திர மோடி அவர் ஓகேன்ட்டாரு. இப்போ அதை அமல்படுத்துறதுக்கு பார்லிமெண்ட்ல போய் அப்ரூவல் வாங்கணும். இப்போ அவங்க என்ன பண்ணா இப்போ ஆர்டினன்ஸ் விட்டுட்டு அப்ரூவல் வாங்கலாம். அதுதான் பிளான் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அது ஆர்டினன்ஸ்னா என்னன்றது லேட்டர் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். பார்லிமெண்டோட அப்ரூவல் வேணும் அதுக்கு.
அப்பதான் இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ண முடியும், இல்லைன்னா பண்ண முடியாதுல்ல சார்?
பண்ண முடியாது. ஆமா, லோக்சபால எப்படி அப்ரூவல் வாங்கிடுவாங்க, ஏன்னா அவங்க தான் மெஜாரிட்டி. ராஜ்யசபால லீடிங் பார்ட்டி, சின்ன பொலிட்டிக்கல் பார்ட்டி சப்போர்ட் இருந்துச்சுன்னா அங்கேயே பண்ணிடலாம்.
ஆனா இப்போ பீப்புளோட ஒப்பீனியன் கேட்டு அதுல கரெக்ஷன் பண்ணுவாங்களா சார்?
அது அவங்களோட விருப்பம். 5 வருஷத்துக்கு நம்ம ஆட்சி அவங்க கையில கொடுத்துட்டோம். மக்களோட கருத்துக்களை கேட்டு அதை இன்கார்பரேட் பண்றாங்களா இல்லைன்றது அவங்களோட டிசிஷன். பிகாஸ் எல்லாருமே ஒரு கருத்து சொல்லும் போது யாராவது ஒரு கருத்துல நம்ம ஃபைனலா டெசிஷன் எடுக்கணும் இல்லையா? ஸோ கவர்மெண்டோட டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன், அவங்க கவர்மெண்டோட கடைசி விருப்பம் அது.
ஸோ டிராஃப்ட் பில் ரெண்டுமே ஒன்று தானே சார்? இல்லை பில்லுங்கிறது வேறு, டிராஃப்ட் வேறு.
அதாவது டிராஃப்ட் பாலிசி, டிராஃப்ட் பில். டிராஃப்ட்ன்றது ஃபைனலைஸ் ஆகாத ஒரு டாக்குமெண்ட் வந்து டிராஃப்ட்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஓகே, முதல்நிலை ஆவணம். டிராஃப்ட்டுக்கு தமிழ்ல வந்து முதல்நிலை ஆவணம். அதாவது ரிஃபைன் பண்ணாமல், அமெண்ட்மெண்ட்ஸ் பண்ணாமல் ஃபஸ்ட்டு வரையப்படக்கூடிய டாக்குமெண்ட்டை வந்து டிராஃப்ட்னு சொன்னோம். அப்போ ஒரு பாலிசியும் டிராஃப்டாக இருக்கலாம். அந்த பாலிசி டெசிஷன் எடுத்துக்கப்புறம் இட் பிகம்ஸ் அ ஃபுல் டைம் பாலிசி. டிராஃப்ட் பாலிசி வில் பிகம் பாலிசி. டிராஃப்ட் பில் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணி அதை பண்ணி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணி அதை பாஸ் பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் இட் பிகம்ஸ் லா.
ஓகே சார். சார் அப்புறம் அந்த பிரசாந்த் பூஷனோட கேஸில் வந்து இப்போ வந்து சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட் வந்து ஒரு அவர் சீஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸை வந்து அவர் வந்து கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்ண, அதாவது அவரை வந்து தாக்கி பேசினங்காட்டி அவங்க வந்து பிரசாந்த் பூஷன் மேல சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டே வந்து வழக்கு எடுத்திருக்காங்க. அதானே சார்? இப்படிதானே சார்?
ஆமா, சோமோட்டோன்னா அவங்களே
சார். அப்புறம் அது வந்து அப்போ ஒரு சீஃப் ஜஸ்டிஸை நீங்க நம்ம இப்படி சொன்னங்காட்டி அவர் வழக்கு எடுக்கிறாங்கன்னா அப்படி அது வந்து சுப்ரீமேசி தான் சார். அவங்க வந்து சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப சுப்ரீமா செயல்படுறாங்க அப்படின்னு தான் சார் மீனிங் ஆகும்.
ஆமா, அவங்களோட
இதே காமன் பீப்புளுக்குன்னா அவங்களே வந்து எடுப்பாங்களா சார்?
நார்மல் பீப்புளுக்கு எடுக்கலாம். இப்போ என்னன்னா அதுதான் சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டோட டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன். நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம்னா, சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டு பிரசாந்த் பூஷன் மேல கேஸ் போட்டிருக்கு. இதே ஏன் இன்னொரு வேலை ஏன் மேலேயோ உங்க மேலேயோ போட முடியுமானா போடலாம். ஆனா அவங்க வந்து பிரசாந்த் பூஷன் மேல டார்கெட் பண்றாங்க, அவ்வளவுதான். ஏன்னா அவர் ரொம்ப பெரிய லீகல் லுமினரி. அவங்க சொல்ற விஷயங்களை வந்து மக்கள் கரெக்டுன்னு எடுத்துக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ அதன் அடிப்படையில் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க.
ஸோ ஒருவேளை மெயின்ஸ்ல கொஸ்டின் கேட்டால் அது நம்ம சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட் வந்து வாலண்டியரா வந்து எடுக்கலாம், பட் தேர் ஷுட் பி a லிமிட், அந்த மாதிரி எழுதலாமா சார்?
வெரி குட், தட் இஸ் a குட் ஒப்பீனியன். இப்படி தான் நீங்கள் எழுதணும் மெயின்ஸ்ல. சுப்ரீம் கோர்ட்டுக்கு அந்த அத்தாரிட்டி இருக்கு, பட் அதை வந்து தே ஷுட் யூஸ் இட் as a லாஸ்ட் ரிசார்ட். தே ஷுட் ரெஃப்ரைன் ஃப்ரம் மிஸ்யூசிங். மிஸ்யூஸ் பண்றதுலேருந்து தடுத்துக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும்
சார். அப்புறம் சார் லாஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் சார், இன்னையோட லாங்குவேஜ் ஆஃப் யூனிட்டின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு எடிட்டர் வந்துச்சுல சார் ஹிந்துல சார். அதுல லாஸ்ட் பாயிண்ட் ஒன்று போட்டிருந்தாங்களா சார்? அதாவது இந்தியாவோட ஃபெடரல் நேச்சரையே வந்து ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் நாம இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் அதாவது புஷ் பண்ணோம்னா அது வந்து ஸ்பாயில் பண்ணிரும் அப்படின்னு இருக்குல்ல சார்? அது அந்த மாதிரி பாயிண்ட்ஸ்லாம் நம்ம மெயின்ஸ்ல யூஸ் பண்ணலாமா சார்? இப்போ ஒருவேளை இந்த இதை பத்தி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்தா
ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கா ஃபெடரலிசம் அப்படின்னு கேட்டா ஆமா ஃபெடரலிசம். ஆனால் அதான் நீங்க கான்ஸ்டியூஷனோட பர்பஸ் என்னன்னா யூனிட்டி. ஏன் வந்து இப்போ சரி நீங்க தமிழ்நாடு ஆளா கேட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா நானும் 3 லாங்குவேஜ் பாலிசி வேண்டாம்னு சொல்லுவேன். பட் ஓவரால் ஒரு கண்ட்ரின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் இருக்கும்போது இன்டகிரேஷன் ப்ராசஸ் வில் பி ஃபாஸ்டர் அப்படின்றது ஒரு இது இருக்கு. இப்போ நேஷனல் எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசி என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா அட்லீஸ்ட் 2-3 லாங்குவேஜ் பேசினாங்கன்னா மக்களுக்குள்ள இந்த இன்டகிரேஷன் இருக்கும். நீ கர்நாடகா, நான் தமிழ்நாடு, நீ கேரளா, நான் தமிழ்நாடு, நீ யூபி, நார்த் இந்தியா, நான் சவுத் இந்தியா, இந்த மாதிரி கான்ஃப்ளிக்ட் எல்லாம் தடுத்து யூனிட்டி ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரி எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ் பண்ணோன்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு டூலாக லாங்குவேஜ் இருக்கலாம் வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. ஒன் லாங்குவேஜ் இஸ் அ காமன் லாங்குவேஜ், லிங்குவா ஃப்ராங்கான்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ இது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்டான லீடர்ஸே இதை பற்றி பேசியிருக்காங்க. அம்பேத்கர் இன்க்ளூடிங் இதை பற்றி பேசியிருக்காங்க. அதாவது நீங்கள் மதர் டங் இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட், ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் ஆஃப் கம்யூனிகேஷன் இருக்கிறது தப்பு இல்லை அப்படின்றது சொல்றாங்க. சரிங்களா? அப்போ ஃபெடரலிசம் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ்ல பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு லாங்குவேஜ் எடுத்துட்டு வந்து நீ இன்னொரு ஸ்டேட்ல இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்றது தப்பு. பட் ஃபெடரலிசமா யூனிட்டி ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரி, ஆனா யூனிட்டி ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரி நமக்கு இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்.
சோ வந்து ஒரு நேஷனல் யூனிட்டிக்கு வந்து இது ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். சோ ஐ சப்போர்ட் இட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாமா சார்?
ஆமா, நீங்க சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி நீங்க எப்படின்னா இம்போசிஷனா இல்லாம இப்போ இவங்க எஜுகேஷன் பாலிசியில் சொல்லியிருக்க மாதிரி த தேர்ட் லாங்குவேஜ் ஆப்ஷன் வந்து ஸ்டேட்டே டிசைட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ அவங்க நெய்பரிங் ஸ்டேட் லாங்குவேஜ் ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இப்போ தமிழ்நாடுக்கு எடுத்துக்கிட்டிங்கன்னா தமிழுக்கு அடுத்து வந்து நிறைய பேர் பேசக்கூடிய மொழி தெலுங்கு. ஜென்ரலாகவே நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு பாப்புலேஷன் ஃபுல்லாக வந்து அட்லீஸ்ட் திண்டுக்கல் வரைக்கும் போது பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தெலுங்கு பாப்புலேஷன், இந்த நாயக்கர்ஸோட ரூல் இருந்தது இல்லையா, அதனால தெலுங்கு பாப்புலேஷன் வந்து அதிகமாக. ஸோ வை கான்ட் வி கோ ஃபார் தெலுங்கு, தமிழ் தெலுங்கு அண்ட் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி பேசலாம். ஸோ அதில் கரெக்டுன்ற மாதிரி சப்போர்ட்ன்ற மாதிரி பேசலாம். அது இம்போசிஷன் ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இல்லாமல் ஃபெசிலிட்டேட் த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி டு லேர்ன் மல்டிபிள் லாங்குவேஜஸ். இந்த லாங்குவேஜ் தான் படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது, ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. எல்லா லாங்குவேஜுக்கான இது ஃபெசிலிட்டேஷன் பண்ணுறது இட் இஸ் த சாய்ஸ் ஆஃப் த. அது வந்து இன்டகிரேஷன்.
அவனுக்கு தேவைன்னா அவன் படிச்சுப்பான் அந்த மாதிரி சொல்லுவாங்க.
தேவைன்னா படிச்சுப்பாங்க, இன்டகிரேஷனும் தானா நடக்கும் அப்படின்னு.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே சார்.
அப்புறம் இன்னொரு பாயிண்ட் வந்து லாங்குவேஜ் ஸ்ட்ரிக்ட்டா இது பண்றதுக்கு நீங்க ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா வந்து ஸ்டேட் டு ஸ்டேட் மூவ்மெண்ட்டை என்கரேஜ் பண்ணணும். பீப்புள் மூவிங் ஃப்ரம் ஒன் ஸ்டேட் டு அனதர். அப்போ வந்து ஒவ்வொரு ஸ்டேட்டுக்குள்ள இருக்கக்கூடிய ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸை இது பண்ணா ஈஸியா இருக்கும் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி ஸ்டாண்ட் எடுத்து முடிச்சிடலாம். சரி, நீங்க ஐஏஎஸ் எக்ஸாம் எழுதுறீங்க அப்படின்னா நேஷனல் யூனிட்டிக்கு தான் பேசணும். ஃபெடரலிசம் கிரிட்டிக்ஸ் எழுதுவாங்க, அதை பாயிண்டா எழுதி அது அவர் ஃபெடரலிசம் இஸ் மஸ்ட் when there is a conflict between federalism and unity of the country is primary எழுதணும்.
ஓகே சார். இல்ல தமிழ்நாடுனா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் क्वेश्चन இத கேட்பாங்க. சோ அதான் சார் உங்க ஒபினியன் கேட்டேன்.
ஆமாமா, அப்ப நான் இங்க இருந்து கிளியர் பண்ற கேண்டிடேட்ஸ் எல்லாமே யூனிட்டி ஆஃப் த கண்ட்ரி இஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட்ன்ற ஆங்கிள் தான் பேசுவாங்க. ஃபெடரலிசமும் முக்கியம், பட் ஃபெடரலிசமுக்கும் யூனிட்டிக்கும் கான்ஃப்ளிக்ட் வரும்போது யூனிட்டிக்கு தான் இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ்ன்ற மாதிரி ஸ்டாண்ட் எடுத்த ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான் கிளியர் பண்றாங்க. நீங்க ஃபெடரலிசம் ஸ்டாண்ட் எடுத்தீங்கன்னா மார்க்ஸ் கம்மியா வரும் மெயின்ஸ்லயும் இன்டர்வியூலயும். ஓகேவா?